All right, guys, and I think we are live. So before we fully begin, can we just backseat? Can you quickly say hi to just make sure that all the audio is working correctly?
Yes, hello. This is me. This is Backseat. Hello. How's the audio? How's the audio coming? Do you want me to say more about myself, or?
Yeah. Please tell us a story about your day.
Okay. Well, it's a long and weaving yarn that I can spill. No, so basically, my day's been great, and I'm glad everyone else has been great. And if I've got to introduce myself, I'm the person who you may have seen in your recommended videos. Whether you clicked or not, who knows? But I've got a bright red icon, and it always has a Smash Math thing. I'm the absolute best at being confident in the worst predictions. But, however, I'm not the one making the predictions. It's generally math, so I have a get out of jail free card, and that's my entire MO, and that's me.
All right. It looks like people can hear you, so I think the stream is fully set up, and I think your math is always perfect.
Yeah, well, maybe it's human error interpreting the math. You know, who can say? Who can say?
Yeah. Yeah. So you run a YouTube channel called Backseat Game Developer.
Yeah.
And what exactly do you do there?
So over there, it's kind of evolved over time. It started as kind of doing the standard YouTube, like this is how someone should make a game, and doing it as kind of backseat game developing. And then eventually, as I kind of took it less and less seriously, the videos started getting sillier and sillier until now it is nothing but extremely silly questions, but answered extremely seriously and with as much hard evidence and math as possible. So stuff like which Animal Crossing villager would be the most delicious, which Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic would actually be best at a birthday party, stuff like that, as well as obviously relevant to this discussion, which Smash Bros. Character will be added next using math. So yeah, that's the sort of stuff I do over there.
Okay, and then Papagenos, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Sure, yeah. I'm Papagenos from the YouTube channel of the same name, and I mostly talk Smash speculation stuff. So also, a lot of videos about predicting who our next Smash fighter might be. But I avoid math, so I am the other side of the coin. No math.
You're
involved.
anti-math.
If there's math. Yeah, there's math in a theory. I actually purposely don't put it in the video. I make sure to avoid it. So no, I'm just kidding.
I'm glad you're leaving some oxygen in the room for a channel like me to come along at least.
Well, I can't come up with the math for Birdo the way you did. So
yeah,
it's not possible. I can't do it. So I'm just leaving that on the table for other people who know the math, because I do not know the math.
All right, and then Spazzy, do you want to introduce yourself briefly?
I mean, if I have to. Hey guys, I'm Spazzy, sometimes Spazzy D, sometimes 8-Bit Spazzy, sometimes just David. I go by that now, sometimes because, that's my actual name. You can mostly find me at all sorts of gaming related things, but you'll find me here and there, everywhere. By all sorts of names, mostly by the names I already said. And I also like Smash, and I like to use a moderate amount of math, so I think I'm a good middle ground.
You're a good middle ground. And one of the reasons I brought you on, Spazzy, was because I was like, you've been really good at actually predicting characters in a lot of ways. And so I wanted you to join us in this discussion to kind of be the voice of reason.
Yeah, it's... Like, Kazuya, I think, is a weird one for me in particular, because I had, when everyone was saying Heihachi, like, way back when, even if you watch, like, my Rate That Character video, I even bring it up for Heihachi, who I gave a 50 to, by the way, that there is just as big of a chance that it could have been Kazuya or Jin. So, like, I brought up Kazuya a lot. And before this fighter came out, I think it was on one of the Source Gaming videos, I said, or maybe it was just on Twitter, I said, it's weird, I feel like we're gonna get like something like Monster Hunter, in that it's maybe not Monster Hunter, but a character like Steve or Sephiroth, where we were talking about them before, but then conversation dropped off. And I didn't say a Tekken character, because they like Sakurai really got us with that Heihachi Mii reveal. I really feel like that, like the timing of that was literally only to get us to not talk about Tekken. There's no reason for that to have been revealed beforehand.
100% agree. 100% agree.
And because what wave was that even released with? Who was the character that Heihachi?
That was with Min Min, wasn't it?
Yeah,
right at the start.
Yeah. And it's not, Min Min's not even. I mean, I guess Min Min's technically a fighting game character, but it's not like they released other fighting game characters with Min Min. So it was. Mm-hmm. It was calculated, I tell you. Anyways.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it was calculated. Because like you said, like no one was expecting Tekken. I think it's very rare to find anyone that was actually anticipating a Tekken fighter as the character reveal for E3.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we talked about it once before in a stream long ago, Push. But not only did having Heihachi as a Mii for Min Min kind of rule out Tekken, I almost felt it ruled out fighting games as general. It's like, okay, well, if Min Min is the closest character he can have to add a Mii fighter for Heihachi to, then obviously there's no more fighting game characters coming up, and this is the most relevant character he could put Heihachi to. So in my mind, it was like, okay, no fighting game characters, no Tekken, we're done with fighting game characters. But yeah, like you say, maybe deliberate misdirection.
It also made it seem like a Namco character in general wasn't as likely, because we had held off on all of those Namco costumes, which made Namco seem really likely in past two. And then all of a sudden they gave us Heihachi, and all of a sudden they gave us Gil, and we're like, well, we're just waiting for Lloyd, and we'll probably come with some sort of JRPG character.
Yeah.
So
they were being sprinkled in.
Yeah. Speaking of math, I was talking to Delphuzin on Discord literally last night about this, and we're like, so Byleth came out 7 months after that game came out, and then what Nintendo franchises have come out? Well, Sword and Shield's already been 2 years. Just trying to math out what is too soon and what is too late for a Smash Edition for a promotional purposes. But at the end of the day, the funny thing is, I think that all of these patterns we're looking at don't really matter, because this pass in particular has been so weird and so random and hard to predict that I don't know. But we'll get to that when we get to that. I'm sorry for already talking about one of your subjects, Push.
That's okay. So actually, the first subject that we'll be talking about is what characters are hot in Smash. This is a topic that kind of started up on Twitter earlier today. I thought it would be kind of a fun stream discussion. So we're gonna do what characters we want to smash first, and then we'll talk about what characters are going to smash. So let me go ahead and change
bringing up
that.
all the important questions.
Yes. So hold on 1 second. Let me change this to
Are we doing some sort of shared view?
Can you guys actually see the live stream?
Yes,
Ooh,
I can.
I could see the live stream. I forgot. We're on the YouTubes.
Yes.
I can bring it up.
Yeah.
Give me one moment, but yeah, I can get there.
Oh, hold on, this is not. Hold on 1 second.
All right, yeah, now I can see it. I can see the chat.
Yeah. For some reason, my tier list is not appearing on here. Oh my god, this is embarrassing.
Uh-oh.
Oh. There we go. Okay, I got it.
Fantastic.
Right. So, we are going to be talking about what characters we want to smash. So, we have the S tier, which is the highest tier, and E tier, which is the lowest tier. And we'll be going through all the characters, and where we want to rank them.
We should have a tier that's just called literal children, and we can just put them there.
Yeah. We're gonna put them. We're gonna name that tier literal children. Please don't arrest us. And we're gonna put this as red. Okay. Okay. That should be... Okay. Alright, so little children, who do we got?
Who's a little child? I mean, young Link, for a start.
Yeah. Young Link comes to mind.
It's right there in the name. Right there in the name.
Yeah, young Link, yep. Alright.
And Toon Link.
Oh, yeah, Toon Link. Let's see.
Ness Lucas.
Oh, yeah, Ness,
Yes.
Lucas. Okay, we got Ness over there. Lucas.
Now Wario shaking his ass at me. I think we all know where he's going.
Pichu is a baby Pokemon. Thank you. That is a good point. We're gonna put...
Yeah. Pit from Kid Icarus is apparently, according to Google, roughly 13 years of age. So that puts him firmly in the literal children category.
I don't know about that because he turned. Okay, so first of all, okay, maybe he was in the first game, but that canonically takes place 25 years after.
Uh-huh.
So,
I see. So okay, so the NES game was 25 years prior to the events of the Resurgence.
Yes.
Canonically.
Yes.
Right.
So.
Hold on.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't age because he's like, angelic or whatever.
Yeah. Although at the ending of the NES game, he can turn into a buff dude if you beat it fast enough. I don't know. NES games were weird.
So, Pit, do we want to include him in this literal children?
I don't.
I would say Pit's his danger zone, so I'd say put him at least next to that category.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not arguing to have sex with Pit. That's not not my intention here.
It's not the hill you want to die on.
You're saying I cannot bait you into arguing that. That's a real shame. I
cannot tell if the ice climbers are 10 or 40, but I guess for our purposes.
Polly001 says you guys should update the literal children to include animals because
but not anthropomorphic animals, right? Because I mean, we all want a piece of fox, right? We can just.
I would say there's a slight difference between, say, fox and duck hunt.
Yes, so we'll put duck hunt there.
All right. So, should I make a separate tier?
Say everything. We're just gonna categorize the Smash roster. And then
literal children, animals, and questionable. We can put
here. I'm gonna do literal animals.
And then figurative animals.
Yeah.
This one will also be reddish. Okay. And
Pokemon trainers should probably be in children. Someone pointed that out.
Is Isabelle a child? Is Isabelle a child or an animal or neither?
Isabelle is a working adult. Isabelle's a receptionist.
She's a secretary. That's true. She does have a job.
Unless Tom Nook is employing child labor, I think Isabelle's.
Yeah, and I think the villager also would be. I mean,
they're a homeowner.
Yeah, I was about to say they moved from town. They left their parents. They went on a train ride. I think they have a very childlike aesthetic, but I would say they are probably 18, like starting out in the world.
What about Inkling?
Inkling's a literal child. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not starting on that. No.
Yeah. All right. So we got. Let's see. I think we got. What other animals?
I think we could probably root out the other animals as we go.
Okay.
We'll stumble across them. I think as long as it's accounted for.
All right.
We know that those categories exist. I think we'll be fine.
So I want to suggest something, and I think this is the only time you'll ever see these three characters in S tier. But I think all of the Mii fighters are S tier, and it's because they're very versatile. They
limitless potential.
And they love dressing up. So I think S tier.
I mean, Mii fighters could be anything you want.
Exactly, they're literally here to fulfill your fantasies. That's it.
Yeah.
That's why they exist.
That's what Reggie said when he added them. Yeah.
My body is ready.
And if you want Reggie,
your limitless fantasies,
you can make that.
They can be Reggie.
Yeah. Whatever you're into.
Anything you want.
That's exactly why they showed a Reggie Mii to kick it off, because they were like, look, all right, we may as well show you the best we can do.
Oh, Shirokuro says Sonic is 15, so we are going to move Sonic out.
Also a hedgehog, so double disadvantage on that one.
All right, so we got the me. So everyone is in agreement that me characters are S tier automatically.
I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Okay. All right, so we got me fighters S tier, the first S tiers.
Yeah.
All right, what about Alex from Minecraft?
I don't know. They're all of the Minecraft characters are a little too blocky for me personally. They
Too
also
rough
have,
around the edges.
Yeah, they also, I think, like the Bee Fighters, there's the advantage of they do like to dress up, but unlike the Bee Fighters, it's not very convincing. I don't think.
And they got no curves. Those Minecraft.
Yeah,
characters.
and they also have no moves. They literally everything is like 2 or 3 frames with them, so I don't think you're gonna have that much fun. I'm gonna say C tier. I'm not gonna put him in D tier because like I said, the costume changes, but otherwise C tier.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if you try anything too funny with a Minecraft character, you're gonna get like a paper cut or something. I think it's
a block cut.
a disadvantageous situation. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a woman with curves, and Alex is not that. Decidedly.
Okay, so I think everyone's saying like C or D tier even.
I think.
Yeah, somewhere in
go,
there.
I'm gonna go with D tier. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna fight you for that. Okay.
That's fine.
All right, the next one we have. Do you want to go in alphabetical order, or do you want to like pick up like random people as we go, or?
Whatever, man. It's good. We'll just look at somebody and then we'll say something.
All right, From.
Ooh, Chrome.
Crom has that strong daddy energy. But he does seem a little stuck up, and I think he's really more concerned about the stats of his children than any actual sex. So, I'd say like a B. I don't know what you guys think.
You think he's going to min-max his kind of interactions with someone on a sexual basis in order to get the best statted children?
Yes, that's exactly what I think.
Yeah.
Eugenics. He's a eugenics guy. He always reminded me.
That's definitely the subtext they were going for, I think, with Fire Emblem.
He's a literal Nazi.
Yeah, he always kind of reminded me of Keanu Reeves. Does anyone else get that vibe? Like, I always think he looks like Keanu Reeves.
Also, I like how Push pointed out that Fire Emblem is in fact a eugenics program. I never really thought of it that way, but you are correct.
But that's not the question. The question is he hot?
Is he hot?
Very true.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of the Fire Emblem crew are going to land in A and B tier. To be honest with you, I'd say B, but you guys can fight it either way.
I'm gonna say A. I think he's I think the personality stuff you laid out, would probably maybe knock him down a bit.
So we're talking about attractiveness, but we're also talking about how good we think they are at sex.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like Crom's little vanilla is all I'm saying.
I think you're taking this a little too far.
You're the one who made this tier thing. I just joined.
I was just doing it on hotness. I was not considering like how good they were in bed.
Oh, okay. We're just doing hotness, and sure, A. Fine.
He's got a really solid. He's got a solid fringe. And I think when you've got that sort of fringe, you've got a certain amount of confidence about you, which I think exudes attractiveness to an extent.
Okay. All right.
I think he hotness wise A, but maybe if it was actually at the bar, is this guy gonna go home with me? What's he like? Stuff like that. Maybe more B, but I think attractiveness is straight up A.
All right, so maybe a low A,
We'll
low A or a high B.
Well,
A minus, B plus.
I'm definitely putting Lucina above him because Lucina's not afraid to play with gender norms and stereotypes, and also wearing a mask is kind of hot. So,
well,
also pretending to be Marth is pretty hot. Like, where's Marth gonna land? And then you got somebody pretending to be a Marth. So where's that going?
Let's rank all the Marths right now.
All right, let's do Lucina next then.
Okay, like I said, I think Lucina is also. I think Lucina is A tier actually, but I could argue B tier.
I'm
But
definitely. I'm gonna go with a
definitely put her
high
above
A tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Because
then I would put Marth ahead of Lucina because Marth is objectively prettier than Lucina.
you think so?
Oh yeah, he's got a special type of pretty. He's got like
I,
that.
I like his outfit. He's kind of showing off his kind of elbow. It's like he's all covered up apart from a little
he
peak
wears
in
those
elbow.
fingerless gloves. It's like he's in a boy band. Like he's
He knows how to tease just right with that elbow. I'm telling you.
yeah, he'd be like in a J-pop boy group if he was alive today.
Yeah,
And
and
a real
Martha's
person.
always saying like, "Hey, please look at me."
Yeah, exactly.
So he has confidence.
Whereas Lucina puts on a mask. Don't look at me. Pretend I'm Marth. Like I have.
That's true.
confidence.
Yeah, Lucina's confidence comes from wanting to be Marth. So that should tell you something.
Well, so Lucina, what are you guys thinking? A, or B, S? What are you guys thinking?
I don't want to. I don't want to water down S for anybody that's not the Mii Fighters or Sephiroth. So
How
so
about
I would. I don't know. I would say A. How's everyone else feel?
I'd put Lucina and Marth both in A. Honestly,
Okay.
especially if we're going from like A plus, A to A minus is all A tier. I think there might be different levels here, but I think they're both A.
Okay.
all right? What do you think, Backseat?
No, I concur with that. I think these are characters that got a lot going for them. I think they're also just about equal. I would pop Marth one notch ahead of Lucina. I think the points raised by the group today have been bang on, and so I concur with the group.
All right, so A tier for both, with Marth being the lead.
I think so.
Okay. I will say that I think that Lucina should be in the lead, but I do understand your points.
Yeah.
Let's.
Lucina's building a lot of her attractiveness off the work that Marth put in originally, I think, and so I think you gotta respect the one who came first.
The OG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, it would also probably be Lucina first, but that's because I like women. So I'm trying to be unbiased here with
Right.
this.
I'm,
Forget about
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm the same way here. So this might be controversial, but I actually think Bayonetta is B tier because I think she's trying too hard with the sexy librarian.
She
dominance.
goes too over the top.
Actually agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. I think there's confidence, and then I think that is over presenting of confidence, which kind of loops back around.
Yes. I mean, would I want her to step on me? Yes. But that's not what this tier list is about, according to Push. Just about
She has guns for shoes, so
she does have guns too.
there's a danger element there.
But that could be add to the hotness.
It could. But I think, like I said, I think she's trying a little too hard. I'd put her B tier, although I would put her at the top of B tier.
She's
So
A
we-
tier for me. But I like. I mean, it is also which costume, like what haircut
That's
she's
true.
got and stuff. That's important to me too.
I would say we need to take into account the internet factor of height. As we all know from Resident Evil 8, height is a big topic, both literally and metaphorically. And Bayonetta is apparently around 8 feet tall, so she's definitely got some internet points in the
she's
bank
8
waiting to be
feet
cashed.
tall?
That again, what an initial Google search would reveal, that Bayonetta is around 8 feet tall.
Jesus.
She may appear small when compared to other humans or enemies, but she's incredibly tall, is what it says.
Huh.
I think she's always just doing that smash pose where she's kind of like spread out in like crab formation. So she's maybe losing a bit of her height due to that.
Okay, all I'm saying is if you meet Bayonetta on the street, she's incredibly hot. But if you know her and hang out with her for a while, you're all like, just calm down, Bayonetta. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to do it. So I think we have two.
She'd definitely
for
be
B.
tough to hang out with.
Yeah. I think we have 2 for B tier. Papa wants to do A tier. Were you thinking A or B, Push?
I I'm thinking like low A, like not high A, but low A.
I
Like,
also want to point out her name starts with the letter B. So
so she
that's-
deserves to be in B.
So if you want to put low A, that's fine. I just
So Alf should be A tier.
yes. All right, let's move Alf to A tier right now.
I would say Alf is C tier.
You think so? Okay.
Oh yeah. Because like I don't know, he's just not doesn't really got it going on. Doesn't have a lot of confidence.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we're going with the actual like height of the characters, which was just brought up with Bayonetta, then Elf and Olimar are. I think that's pretty low tier because these are, you know, what are they, like an inch tall?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
but I
Alf-
see. If we're talking about Alpha and Olimar as well, I think with Olimar there's a certain intensity. His kind of eyes, he might look like he's squinting, but maybe he's just like, you know, peering deeply. Whereas you look at Alf and there's a kind of fear in those eyes, and I'm not sure. I think that maybe reduces points, so I'd have to rank Olimar higher than Alf 100%.
Olimar is also he's got that. I think you brought it up with Crom. He's daddy tier. He's got a family. He's a family man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so that does it for you.
I think we should just go through and knock out all the Fire Emblem while we're here.
Well, hold on. Let's do Alf and Olimar first, and then we'll
Okay,
go back
we're
to
already
Olimar.
there. Sure.
Yeah. So, Spazzy, what are your thoughts on Alf and Olimar?
Well, they are extremely small. I think wherever we place them, Olimar is obviously more attractive than Alf. Just
Yeah.
in every way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think so too. So maybe Olimar C tier and Alf D tier.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, let's move them on up. All right, so let's go back to the Fire Emblem characters. Let's do Byleth male and female. I think Byleth female is A tier.
Yeah.
Male I would say is B tier,
Yeah,
like on
I
the
might
lower end.
Yeah. I mean, I might even put female Byleth S tier. She's got those stockings, man.
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah, A tier.
Yeah, I think A tier for female Byleth and male Byleth. I mean, I think the guy's probably pretty attractive, but his haircut's kind of doofy. Like he could fix himself up a bit better. I'd put him in B.
It's kind of like the haircut that you put like a bowl on your head and then you.
Yeah, he's got a
Yeah.
little bowl cut weird thing going on in the back too. It looks. Come on, he could do better.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends on who you're asking, because I've heard a lot of people say that male Byleth, you know, bracket pointing one direction better than female Byleth. So while I would say female Byleth above male Byleth, I'm not sure if the internet would agree with that. I think maybe maybe people would rank male Byleth higher. He's got that intense Crom energy, so he's got to be at least as good or better than Crom, I think.
What
With that
what the
difference.
chat thinks? What does the chat think? Does male Byleth rate higher or does the female Byleth rate higher?
I mean, I just
Objectively.
put up a picture here myself, and yeah, female Byleth definitely. I mean, she dresses sexier for sure. Like Spazzy brought up with the stockings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like the design of male Byleth maybe a little better, but we're talking about like sexiness, not who has the better design. And female Byleth definitely has a sexier design.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a smolder to the male Byleth that I think, to the right person, would be a sexy design. I think female Byleth is kind of a bit more, you know, it's the Alf issue. She's kind of got a bit more wider, kind of like, you know, less intense eyes. I think male Byleth definitely has some smolder that female Byleth doesn't.
Yeah, but not everybody is into somebody that's very, you know, some people like maybe are attracted to a woman that's a little more on the submissive side. It takes all types, backseat. It takes all types.
I will say that I found exactly one picture where for some reason those expressions are switched and female Byleth is smouldering and male Byleth is, you know, being open-eyed. And yeah, I must admit I kind of like the angry female Byleth a bit better.
I think they're about the same. Unlike Corrin, who has an awful dopey male design. So, but we'll get to that when we get to that. I mean, if you want to put them both in A tier, I'm fine with that.
What do you guys think? A tier, B tier, or S tier even?
I think most of the kind of just general anime swords people are pretty safe B and above. Like maybe low A tiers is a pretty safe bracket to put all those folks in. I think compared to, say, the broad range of characters we'll have on this tier list, I think they are definitely on the much higher upper end. I think, we're debating the sexiness of a Smolder or not, but keep in mind that Mario is coming up, and there's a big gap there. So maybe they're all a safe A tier, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to the obvious ones like Penguin Daddy later, but for now, let's get through these anime swords people.
All right, so
so some of these are difficult because people are saying now Joker's a high school student, Roy is 15.
Oh,
but Joker also canonically just has sex. So
can we maybe just say okay, if there's any character that we put in any tiers that's outside of the we tried to get rid of all the children obviously, but if we put anybody anywhere, then we're aging them up to 18 just for purposes.
Yeah.
We're rating their hotness at the age of whatever.
Of consent. We're
Consent,
not saying we're not advocating anyone to do anything with individuals.
They're all going to be age 25 at least. They're all very safely. It's not even technically now it's fine. It's like no. They're 25. They've started their career ladder. Maybe they're looking at a first house. It depends how financially secure they are. That is the situation that all these characters will be in by the time we're talking about them.
Do some of the Pokemon even live to 25? Who knows? These could, whatever.
On the Squirtle, I do feel like we should put Squirtle in the literal children and animals category. He's just a baby turtle.
He's under level 12.
You could have gotten your first Squirtle back in Red and Blue, and you could have just never evolved that thing, hold an Everstone all the way up until now, and transfer that Pokemon. They could be older. I'm just saying.
And I don't know anything about Pokemon, so when you
don't have to level up. You don't have to evolve a Pokemon. You can have a level.
I understand that, but I know that you can breed Pokemon. Do they have to be at a certain stage of evolution to breed them?
Yes, over so Pichu wouldn't be able to breed, but Squirtle would.
That's weird.
Yeah, because once again, you could have a level 100 Squirtle that you never evolved, and there you go.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's go on to the next Fire Emblem character, and that's Corrin.
So male Corrin has that really nice Cam Clark voice, at least for the English version. Mm-hmm. But besides that, he is a doofy looking dude. I'm sorry, he's got to be on the low end of B tier. Female Corrin a little over designed, but maybe also B.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can transform into stuff, and I'm not a feet guy, but some people are, and I don't think either
true. They are. They both have bare feet. Let's move them into A tier. I'm also not a foot guy, but I need to say hey, let's. True, bare feet. Life.
We're talking. I mean, we're talking objectively, so we have to take into account other people's tastes.
Exactly.
When we do this. So those count for points for other people, not necessarily ourselves.
Yes.
I think just like the Bayonetta height situation, you've got to take into account the community, the wider community.
So, what do you think, Backseat?
I think as a safe bet, I would say most. I may be anime face blind. I haven't played many of the Fire Emblem games. Most of them, honestly, they all rate about the same to me. They're all about the same level of, this looks like a vaguely human person, and they're dressed in some pretty elegant armor. I think it's when we get to the stage of, I don't know, say Luigi, then I think, okay, now let's get conceptual with this. But I think everyone is a bit safer in the kind of a high to low A tier for me when they are an anime person.
I agree.
That makes logical sense. I'm cool with that.
All right, so I'm gonna go male Corrin B tier, and then female Corrin higher than that?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay.
Palutena's an A tier. I just saw her. She's a literal goddess. Sorry.
I actually,
I'd say S tier maybe, man.
I would say Palutena is A tier at best.
Really? Oh man, you and I have different tastes in tall, green-haired women. I'll tell you that.
I'll put it this way: if we're really talking S tier, like that, you gotta have something major to get an S tier. I feel like that's the Mii's make sense. The Mii's that makes sense. I think Palutena is definitely up there.
Mii's and Sephiroth make sense. I think.
Just put Sephiroth there. He's hot. He's shirtless. He has a really big sword. S tier.
Yeah. I think each episode Sephiroth, which is an alternate costume, can only be at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we go to Palutena, who I think is very attractive, very sexy, objectively. If you remember that anime intro she had when they first revealed her for Smash, very, very attractive. But I still think that's like high A tier and not S tier. I feel like you need something to really push you over that line. So I'm saying high A tier.
Yeah. Got it.
All right, I will put her in A tier. All right, we still have more Fireball characters to go through.
Oh, the Robins?
The Robins.
This is one where I think
just keep
Neil
going
Robin.
with farm characters. It never ends.
It just never ends. Jeez, Sakurai.
Yeah.
I would say, I guess like A tier. I would say.
Yeah, just throw them on there. I'm done.
Yeah, we're done with Fire Emblem.
I like the pigtails on female Robin. That's cool. It's
I
cool
think
look.
male Robin is a good-looking dude. I think they are both good-looking people.
And they're kind of dark. They got that dark hoodie.
Yeah, and they don't
wear.
need to and they don't need to show it off. It's once again it's the confidence. So
Yeah, yeah. They're dark and mysterious. I like that. I dig that.
All right, King Dedede.
Okay. Now we're getting into it.
Yes.
yeah.
I would say.
Let me look into this guy's eyes while I talk about him. Yeah, go on, Push.
I was gonna say I think he's a A tier. I think he has a bigger body, but he's confident. He knows what he wants.
He's Penguin Daddy. He is. He's got some big energy, and we know that if he can be buff too. There's also buff Day-to-Day. I know.
Yeah.
I actually have him on my desk.
I think he's a solid A tier. I don't know why we're even still talking about this. King Day-to-Day is A tier. Moving on.
Yeah, pop him at the top of A tier. I won't feel satisfied unless he's above the anime Swords Fighters.
All right. Let's go.
There's also
on.
royalty. There's some points for royalty too. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, I want to bring up two characters now that when you first think about them, you're all like, oh, they are, kind of sexy in a traditionally masculine way. But also, I don't think they shower, and that's Ryu and Terry. So I feel like they probably smell a lot. They're basically hobos. So I want to put them both in C tier. Yeah, especially Ryu probably stinks and also doesn't understand what sex is. So I'd put him in C tier. Terry maybe B tier, because Terry, but Terry's more like a drunk hobo. But they're both. I want to point out that they're both homeless.
I feel like Terry.
Terry rides trains.
Yeah, but like that aside, I feel like
Terry's
takes
put
care of
together.
himself. Yeah, I feel like Terry, he probably does smell on occasion. He probably does,
He literally rides the rails.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm not saying he's not a hobo. Okay, I'm not arguing against.
Yeah,
his hobo
he does care more about his appearance. I mean, his hair obviously is
well kept.
He obviously takes care of his hair. Yeah, so he probably stops in places, takes showers, and things.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like Terry occasionally will try to clean himself up. You can catch him on a bad day, but you might catch him on a good day. Whatever. Ryu, I don't think doesn't care. Like if there is a shower available, he probably won't even take it. He's just gonna go train or something. Like where Terry would be like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna take a shower.
Yes, but I understand. Terry has a regular girlfriend and raises a child. I get that.
Counterpoint.
Yes.
I think Ryu does train in the rivers and stuff like that. So
Yes, however, like Terry is somebody that enjoys a lot more of the carnal things in life. He, like I said, he'll go out, he'll get drinks, he'll hang out with his friends. He definitely gets down. Ryu doesn't care about anything except for the training. I think Ryu should be a C tier. We can talk about Terry more. I'd say Terry's B, maybe a B. Maybe an A if you're into sort of that musky sort of dude.
I'd say Terry's an A.
You say A? Okay, I'll say A for Terry, but I'm sticking with C for Ryu because that dude smells. He smells and doesn't care about sex.
I do get the feeling that Terry has been wearing the exact same clothes since the 90s. It's not that he bought spares. I think if you look at those sleeves, those are tattered up. I think he may shower, but this is the same top he was rocking, 1998 or whatever. So
well, yeah, I mean he did switch in the Garo games, but that's also when he was raising a child, so maybe he wanted to smell less.
Well, maybe that's what happened. Yeah, maybe that's what happened. Is that he was raising a child. He thought, I'll scrub up. I'll be a new man. I'll be a family man. And then at a certain point, midlife crisis hits, and he's like, I'm going back in the classics. And he put on his 20-year-old shirt, and now he's back. He's back up to his old tricks.
Yeah, see, I feel like Terry occasionally cleans himself up, and a cleaned up Terry I think is A tier. But Ryu, I don't think there's any question. Like, that guy smells all the time.
Yes.
No matter what stage of his life or where you find him, what's happening, he's a smelly dude. Like, that's where we're at.
All right, so I'm moving Terry into low B tier and Ryu into C tier.
Yes, B for Bogart. So I like that.
Okay.
I like how we're just alphabetizing them as best we can. Like, that's our... that's kind of the deciding factor.
What about Snake?
They have a letter in their name.
Snake, would that be S tier?
I
think Snake would
smell. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, he might not because of being stealthy.
He also has that
he's
tuxedo
around in the rain.
He also has a tuxedo for that Bond flair. Yeah.
I mean, he probably smells when he's at certain points, but I don't think he's like if he's ready to get down.
Yeah, if he's on a mission,
he's going to clean himself up.
I think Snake on a mission is different from Snake, going out and trying to impress Meryl or whatever. So he does probably sleep in a box. So.
I would say
Counterpoint.
that isn't that a famous Psycho Mantis
Snake knows his way
Psycho
around
Mantis
a box.
goes. Yeah, doesn't Psycho Mantis say that Snake is like the only person he's ever mind read who doesn't think about sex? So wouldn't that mean that he's kind of basically out of the competition?
I haven't played the first game like in 10 years.
I think Psycho Mantis is like, oh, everyone's head-eyed going, oh, it's all the same things, it's all the base human desires. Then he goes in Snake and he's like, oh, you don't have any of that, I think. And so I think it's meant to be that Snake, as his clone sense, is just on mission all the time and doesn't even consider it.
Mm-hmm.
But is that just he might show hyper focus?
But with that,
like he's just on the mission, can he hyper focus on sex too later on?
And also, I think
at that point.
I think we're saying more that it's if the hotness is that if people want to have sex with them, like an asexual person could be super hot.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, just because Snake is saying no to you doesn't mean that isn't hot. That's honestly, that can be, that can honestly be more like the chase. The chase is fun.
I don't know. This one's all over the place. I could go from A to D on this one, honestly. It's everywhere. It's difficult.
I think he smells of wet cardboard, and I think he's maybe a workaholic. May not give you the affection and attention you need, which might be important for some people.
Okay.
However, I also believe that you could trick him into saying that that wooing you is the mission, and then maybe he would give it his all. It's hard to say.
And he probably thinks you're tasty. I would put him above Ryu no matter what. So either low B. I'd put him underneath Terry, but above Ryu. So either high C or low B.
Yeah, I'd say that probably is correct.
All right, I was going to say,
low B, because attractiveness-wise, I think he can be B tier. And that's kind of what we're, going for here. But yeah, there's some certain things about him I think that probably lower him to where he could be if he had a better personality or whatever, sex drive or whatever.
Yeah, and I think Kazuya is a very easy A tier. He's got that
I think
bad boy
Kazuya's
energy.
A tier.
Yeah, he's got that bad boy energy, the bad boy of karate, if you will. And then he also can clean up real nice. So if you want to go out to a nice dinner, he's got a nice suit.
It's true.
Yeah,
He's a literal devil, so we're talking like Incubus here. Like he might be into some stuff.
Yeah, I'd put him right next to Day. Honestly, he's better than any of these Fire Emblem chumps.
Yeah,
I would say so.
all right, let's what's another one that we can easily categorize? Let's try to get some of the less controversial ones out. Maybe Pyra and Mithra.
So I think Pyra and Mithra are one person, though, yeah? Or are we doing them separately?
We'll do them separately and together.
Because if they're one person, okay, together is S tier because you have
I think so too.
Yeah,
I mean they're kind of a package deal, and I think that makes it S tier.
Yeah, I think so. Individually, probably.
I think Pyra above Mithra.
For my personal taste, yeah, she's more. I don't know. They're both.
Pyra's got that more like girl next door thing, and Mithra's a little colder kind of thing going on.
Yeah, but if you're into
in their own ways.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're both pretty close. Mithra's a little more domineering, and as far as physical features go, like it's close. It depends what you like. So I think they're both right next to each other in A, somewhere amongst those Fire Emblem people. I'm fine with putting Pyra above her though.
I feel like they're both A tier, and 2 A tier make an S tier, and that's where we're at with them. And I think that's good. I'm
they have
down
the
with
same
that.
face and body, says Nantenjex. Yeah, but you know what? That hairstyle and the personal style of the clothing, that makes a lot of difference, man.
Yeah, all I know about them is it seems Sakurai was pretty jazzed about them, and so I trust my man Sakurai. I think I'll. I feel like he would rate them S tier. So
I think Sakurai also preferred Pyra. He said in the.
Yeah, he said something about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, what about Rob?
He's just a sex toy, so also S tier.
Oh God.
He's a love machine.
What is my purpose?
Yeah. I mean, I'll put it this way: out of the things on this roster that I actually have a chance with, I'm looking over at my shelf, and I got Rob right there. So, just saying.
Yeah, Rob is also a physical item, so if you want to have sex with Rob, you can.
Whereas all the other things on here, you might be out of luck.
I think whatever we rate Rob, we also need to maybe 0.5 him up on the scale in terms of the tier, because his kind of alternate costume with the kind of Famicom looks, that red and white look, it's got some flair. It's got some real flair. I think if you're just looking at the Grey Boy, I think you should knock him up just a touch.
Voyager does bring up the fact that Rob has a vibrate feature, so once again, I'm advocating for S tier.
Yeah, I'd say S tier because of existence. The fact that he exists, kind of. I feel like things that exist are hotter than things that do not. Just,
Oh, God. Crying. All right. I guess Rob is the highest.
Yeah, he's a sexist.
Literal
I
sex
think
god.
being the only tangible being maybe gives him an advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone in the chat just said Incineroar S tier. Listen, I'm not a furry and I'm not into muscular men, but if I was into both of those things, then yeah, probably.
Yeah, his hands freak me out. He's got weird claws.
It freak me out. It's weird. Yeah, because he's still an animal.
Yeah, I mean his whole I'm not a furry. I'm not into muscular men. That's not my thing at all. But even still, I feel like he's kind of. His design's a little odd looking. It's never clicked with me, that design. Yeah. I feel like even if I was into that stuff, I probably wouldn't. Incineroar wouldn't be at the top of my list.
I mean, I'm looking at a photo of Incineroar now, and you're looking at some of the key areas, and you're like, okay, hands covered in claws, like that's got to be unpleasant, depending on taste. But let's say majority, that's going to be unpleasant. Mouth, massive jagged sharp teeth, also potentially unpleasant. Like crotchal area is literally on fire. So I would say while he is literally hot, I think even in the best case scenario, even where this is legal, even where you're into buff muscular men and into whatever animal he is. I think you're gonna have a bad time with an Incineroar.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm sorry, guys. He's gonna be a C.
Also, think about this. It's like, hey, babe, why don't you take that belt off? And Incineroar is going to freak out because he ain't taking that belt off. Like, he earned
That's
that
true.
thing.
I mean, I might even go D tier. I don't know, you guys.
I'll put him in D. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
stick
go D.
him in D tier.
All right, so Incineroar is a D tier.
Sorry, Incineroar fans.
Yeah, I think the belt thing, and I think that is all good points. But yeah, if he didn't have that, I think he would be a B tier or even a C tier.
Now,
right.
Greninja has that tongue, which some might find useful. We should put him and Yoshi in their own tier. That's just tongue.
Tongue tier.
Tongue tier.
Yeah, I mean that's potential argument for S tier. The tongue cape. I don't know if Greninja and Yoshi would be cool with that, but
Although I would say he uses that as like a scarf. Like, imagine how dirty that's going to get. I mean, the thing is, like, a scarf, sorry, not a scarf, like a tongue. Like, say you bought one of those like alien things that grows in water or whatever when you're a kid, and the amount of dirt and dust that would stick to those things. Now imagine that's an entire tongue wrapped around someone's neck 24 hours a day. That tongue is going to be in bad shape. You do not want that tongue going anywhere near you, I would suspect.
probably not. Also, I think the lick move in Pokemon was a paralyze, so I'm assuming this frog has some toxic qualities.
Paralyzed with pleasure.
Paralyzed with pleasure. That is a term.
That is gonna be the phrase of the night. The takeaway.
I think the chat is paralyzed with pleasure right now, listening to this. Actually.
Yeah. I also want to point out that none of us, I think, knew that this is what we were doing when Flip asked us to join.
No. Actually, we were just about to go on. You were like, first we're gonna go over like Hotness, and I was in my mind like, does he mean like how much people are playing these characters, like how hot they are right now? Yeah. And then it was like,
no,
you literally mean how hot the characters are.
Yeah.
It's also I like how this tier list is kind of fun in concept as a little throwaway warm up. We are now nearly halfway through the conversation, and we've barely scratched the surface of Hotness of Smash Bros. Characters.
It's a topic ripe for discussion.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much deeper than I anticipated. I thought we would be through this a lot quicker, but there's a lot of characters.
Yeah, that's the problem. Let's speed this up a little bit. Piranha Plant and Ridley, let's just go ahead and put them in D tier because they will kill me. They do not seem pleasant to have sex with. We can just...
Yes, they will bite you. They will just bite you. That's it. Bite and kill.
not bite you in a fun way. No.
Yeah.
Piranha Plant is...
Ridley might play with you for a little bit, but it's not
the way that somebody plays with their food.
Yeah, exactly. It's not, this is not a pleasure thing. This is you want to freak you out if your adrenaline will probably kill you.
King K. Rool and Dark Samus, same-ish or no?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sure somebody's into K. Rool, but I'm putting them also in D tier. Sorry.
That'd probably kill you. K. Rool maybe a little higher D tier. I feel like he might not kill you the same way Dark Samus, Ridley, and Piranha Plant would, but
K. Rool does have means, he has wealth, and he has status. However, everything else is going against him, I think.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with Mr. Game & Watch.
Ooh, Mr. Game with anything, but it's 2D.
Yeah, I was about to say he's very flat, and I like my sexual partners to have more curves. He can turn into a giant octopus, so if that's your thing, I mean you're in luck. I'm gonna say low C tier.
Yeah, throw him in C. I think he has some qualities, like being able to transform and stuff, but overall, it's still a 2D flat image.
Also, he's a man of mystery because he's permanently in silhouette. Maybe some people are into that.
Also, let's put Zombie and Enderman with the people that will kill you.
Oh yeah,
yes. They're also, Zombie at least is dead, so.
I'm also gonna put Sans in D tier because he's literally promising you a bad time.
Okay. I like how Sans is on the list here. Like,
Yeah. That's a separate.
We don't have the other meat
Yeah, it's
costumes
not like
on here
Cuphead's
yet.
on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should put the other quote unquote deluxe me costumes on here, but oh well.
Throw Ike in with the other Fire Emblem characters.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's two different Ikes. There's older Ike and younger Ike, and there's different qualities to them.
Two flavors of Ike, yeah. But,
Yeah. Let's just say you have access to both. So
What about,
that puts an A.
Ken?
Sure.
Ken would be same higher than I think higher than Ryu.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I would put Ken higher than Terry even. He's rich.
Yeah, Ken's rich, and I think he does like. Yeah, when he's training with Ryu, he probably gets pretty smelly. But any chance he gets to clean himself up, I think he's cleaning himself up. So I'd say A tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's for as bad as Ryu smells when he goes out, I bet Ken smells just as good.
Yeah. No, when Ken goes out a night on the town, like, you know, it's fancy clothes, his sports car. He's well putting himself together nicely.
Yeah. If the last couple of months have taught me anything, it's that the internet loves tall, pale women. So I think Wii Fit trainer female is A tier. Unfortunately, the male trainer is a little goofier with the voice,
His face,
and he's shorter. He's a short dude, which
Hey, I'm a short dude.
I'm just being a real push. I'm sorry.
Look, I think they're both in great shape. I think they are both.
They
in
are.
great shape.
They're in excellent shape.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, but the female
flexible.
is A and the male is B.
Very flexible, both of them.
Yeah.
Throwing it out there.
Sure, the yoga poses. I mean, I don't know. I might even put them. Well, I mean, if you want to put them both A, that's fine. But
Okay, I'm gonna put them.
I'd throw them both A. I think they're both A.
okay.
All right. Let's go with Banjo Kazooie.
I don't know if they're literal animals, but they're close, man.
Yeah, I can.
It's a package deal. I feel like if you're like with Banjo, Kazooie's going to be making weird comments the whole time.
Yeah, Kazooie is also
that's true.
Kazooie's a bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
I feel like she's going to be commenting on your sexual performance the entire time.
Yeah,
Not
doesn't even matter if you're good. Like Kazooie's
Yeah.
gonna break you down. Like that's just her thing. So
Yeah, so bottom of C tier. Sorry.
Mickle Pickle
or
says.
animal tier if you want.
Yeah, Mickle Pickle says. Ice Climbers. Are they? Shouldn't they be in the children tier? I don't know actually.
Like,
Yeah, we
And
talked
I
about how we
say-
weren't sure.
I say yes because I want to get this done.
Okay.
Sure.
Yep.
We said we weren't
Is
sure if
Mega
they were,
Man
like,
is
40
Mega Man a
children.
child? He's a robot. I don't know.
I think Mega Man is a child.
Yeah, let's put Mega Man.
Yeah,
a
I think
child.
that's safe.
And Kirby as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kirby is definitely a child. Actually,
Kirby
I forgot about
is
that.
is thousands of years old, but he has the mind of a child.
Well, yeah.
Right.
So
He's an infant
that's-
for his species.
So definitely not rating him.
Mega Man is technically an object, but like he's an object made in the shape of a child, and I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah, let's
so.
not do that. All right, Gendorf.
Oh, Ganondorf. Now this is like this is classic kind of like Daddy Thanos energy, isn't it? He's a bad boy. He's a big boy. I think he's definitely got something to him. He's got a little spark. Also, he is the only male, right? Of what is the
Gerudo.
What is the kind of
Gerudo.
Gerudo? He's the only male Gerudo, right? So instantly, there's a novelty there. There's something special about him.
I mean, he definitely has like a harem of Gerudo women, like definitely.
Yeah.
So I
I'm
mean,
putting
experience.
it between
Yeah.
Kazuya and Day to Day. That's my.
That high?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think he really
I can live with
has.
that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
he's
B
got,
tier, but
No.
No way. He's A.
Ah.
If you want to put him at the end of A, we can do that. But he's.
I mean, he's basically born into a sex fantasy. He's born into
Yeah.
a world of nothing but women. Like,
Yeah, he's like a muscular, 9 foot tall.
Yeah. If this was a
Little
2021 anime series, he would be the protagonist.
Yes,
Whoa!
exactly.
I'm born in a fantasy world, and I'm the only male. Whoa! That's
where
that's
does it go
Ganondorf.
from here? And then
Yeah.
just
All
goes
right.
situations.
Sorry, little Mac, but the word "little" is in your name, so
Rumble.
low beer tier at best for you.
I'll throw him in B tier. I like Little Mac. I don't mind him being little.
You know what? He's an underdog, though. He does have that energy where he's going to overcome any shortcomings that he might have physically.
I mean, the fact he
the
beat up
extra
like
work in.
Mike Tyson. Is...
Yeah, he like I said, he puts the extra work in. So if we were going not by pure hotness, but by just sexual energy, I think he would be.
Oh, yeah, Mac is 17. That is actually he's good tier. He's just on the line. You know, maybe next year, Mac.
maybe next Smash.
Which fits him once again underdog. He's just not making our tier list.
Also Zelda then, which is unfortunate. But I think that version of Zelda from A Link to the Past. Does anyone know? Can somebody look that up?
Yeah, I'm gonna put her in attentively in the children's section.
What about Sheik? We got like some androgynous qualities here, some mystery to that. And Sheik is from Ocarina of Time Zelda,
I think Sheik is like S tier actually.
Yeah,
Sheik
Sheik has that mystery element. You are right.
Sheik tier.
And potentially, but we don't know the magic. Like they might be able to switch gender. Like that might be a quality of the magic of Sheik. So, if you're
because you got to realize you're actually also when you talk about Sheik talking about Twilight Princess Zelda. Yeah, Zelda and Link from Link to the Past are both 16.
Oh, okay. So let's move them into this then. Never mind.
Yeah, man, it's almost like a medium aimed at children. Has all the protagonists be children? What are we doing?
But Link himself though is an adult.
I'm thinking Sheik is because Sheik is from Ocarina of Time, which you go to sleep for 7 years. I don't know. Is Link supposed to be 12 or 13 as young Link? So 7 more years.
Yeah, I think we're fine.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Whatever. Yeah.
And with Link,
Breath of the Wild Link is 100 years old too.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
okay, it's worth putting Link.
And Link is also not afraid to dress up, so I'm gonna point that out too.
I'm gonna
Breath of the Wild Link
S tier.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's And there goes Gerudo Link.
I'm also gonna put Pikachu in this kind of little children tier because I
put Jigglypuff there too.
Yeah,
D maybe, I don't know, or animal or Pokemon animal. Or, do animals exist in the Pokemon world aside from Pokemon? It's very unclear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the more humanoid ones, but like Squirtle, I would also put there, and maybe Ivysaur.
Well, the thing is, the more humanoid one, Mewtwo, that I'm looking at immediately, is also in that unbreedable Pokemon. It's just a genetic experiment. I don't think there's any sexuality to Mewtwo.
Oh, that's upsetting because he's so sexy.
I know.
All right, we got to get through this. So let's
let's do it. Let's go through these.
Let's get through this real quick. Bowser.
Oh, he's got that King Daddy energy.
So
B tier.
5, B tier.
Yeah,
Yes.
B Dads.
All right,
B for
Captain
Bowser.
Falcon.
Let's go.
B for Bowser.
I think Captain Falcon's A.
A, yeah,
Oh yeah.
easy A.
Yeah.
Nice car, good body. Oh yeah.
Nice guy.
Cloud. I think
Cloud. I feel like Cloud and Link are always.
Cloud is. I think it's gonna be A or B.
High A. I'm gonna say high A.
You're forgetting about cross-dressing Cloud.
Yeah.
Oh, I am
that's
forgetting
true.
about cross-dressing Cloud.
So high A.
Yeah, so high
I
A.
still say it's high A. I'd almost put Link in high A too. I don't want to change things we've already dropped down because I know we're trying to get through this, but I feel like they might both be top of A, not quite S.
Yeah, because I think Cloud and Link are very comparable, and they both look good cross-dressing. So
Yeah.
I don't
think
want
that's
to
quite
muddy
S.
S.
I don't think that's
Yeah.
like the S tiers have very specific qualities that have gotten them there.
All right, Daisy. I'm gonna say B.
Yeah, let's do B just to piss people off. All right.
Yeah.
Piss off
Dark
the
Bit.
Daisy fan.
Dark Bit is he a child? I thought he's a child.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's even younger.
He's whatever.
than
He's whatever Pit
Yeah.
is. So if Pit is a child, then he's a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Diddy Kong is also. Donkey Kong.
Okay. Diddy and
Wow,
Donkey
yeah.
Kong they're not like Star Fox characters. They are literal animals. Like,
yeah.
I know they have some personality.
Dr. Mario.
You know.
All right,
Who's
Dr. Mario. He's got everything that Mario has and a doctorate.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Right,
he's
yeah,
always
that's
higher than Dr. Mario. He's always higher than
And he
Dr. Mario.
knows about the body too. Like he,
Okay, I know we
knows.
didn't want to muddy the S tier, but
Yeah, Dr.
Dr.
Mario's
Mario.
like the S tier. Yeah.
yeah, I think so. He's got a lot of understanding of anatomy, and he can
Exactly.
provide you with pills for performance.
Mario A.
Yeah.
Dr. Mario S.
So here's going to be a difficult one. Wario, obviously very sexy, obviously smells. Might be
Yeah.
part of the appeal. I don't know.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he
say
smells, but he smells in like if you're into that way. Whereas Ryu
Yeah.
just doesn't take care of himself. Like Wario, like he knows. What
I'm
he's
gonna
doing.
put-
Wario works towards that smell.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna put Wario next to Bayonetta because I think
Okay.
the two of them would be perfect for each other.
Yeah, I think so
I think
too.
that's yeah okay.
That's my canon ship.
Yeah.
One is like it's overly
Bayonetta.
sexual female, and we have
Bayonetta.
overly sexual male together. It works. It works.
Yeah. All right, Falco and Fox.
I've always thought Falco was sexier than Fox. I always
and
when
I
I
think
hear people talk
I
about it.
I think it's Wolf, Falco, Fox, right?
Okay.
I would say Falco is a bird, and birds have hollow bones. I think you might just snap him like a twig if you did too much with him,
Like
which
a
I'm
wishbone.
not sure it would be. Yeah, like a wishbone, exactly. Not ideal.
Bird bones are actually a lot stronger than you would think, because they are a certain way. I mean,
Oh.
yeah, it's not. I could see that, but I would definitely say Wolf, and then because I think Wolf once again has that bad boy energy.
Yeah, Wolf, Falco, Fox. I got that. I'm down with
Yeah,
that. That's fair.
What do you think?
What
B
tier though? B.
Yeah,
Yeah. High B. High B tier.
high B. Yeah.
I'm not into that furry stuff, but I know the furry people. This is their jam. These three right here.
All
Is
right,
Samus sexier with or without her power suit?
Good question.
It depends on what you want.
Good question.
I would
think
say
I
I would say
It's more
either.
flexible with the power suit because you can go into the morph ball.
although with the power suit, like that sort of like if she transformed into a morph ball, you might like lose a finger or something.
True. Yeah, I'm gonna say Zero Suit Samus is sexier. I'm not gonna get weird with this. Zero Suit Samus is sexier. Let's just be honest.
All right, Zero
We've
Suit
all had fun,
Samus.
yeah. But let's not kid ourselves. Yeah.
A tier.
A
Or
tier
S
for
tier, you
Samus.
think?
I think
She's
S tier
hot,
for
okay.
Zero Suit, and then A for
A.
Samus.
Sure.
All right, Pac-Man, another dad.
And if you like curves, this
Yeah.
guy's all curves.
He's all curves.
All curves. I mean,
so-
he's a family man. I think that always knocks them up a few points. He's a family man. He obviously knows what he's doing. So I think while he doesn't have much aesthetically, I think through sheer precedent we can assume that he's at least middle of the pack.
Sure, B tier. I'm down.
All right.
Who is
next,
left?
we have the Mario Bros. And the Dragon Quest protagonists.
Okay.
So Dragon Quest.
They got that anime look. We kind of just like
Yeah, we're gonna
A
put them
tier.
in.
Can we lump all the animes in A tier? I feel that. I mean, honestly, that's like anime protagonists. They're pretty attractive looking in general. I just throw them all in A tier. Be done with it. Maybe the lower end of A tier. 'Cause it's Kira Toriyama's art style isn't my favorite anime art style.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it, but I don't, for sexiness wise.
Yeah, and I think definitely 8 goes above. I think 8 would go up above 3.
I think 8's the sexiest out of all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think 11 is probably the second sexiest, and then 3.
You
and
think
then
11 is the second sexiest?
4. Look at that hair; it's luscious.
Yeah, he's got that Trunks hair.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
I mean, you can argue. I would definitely put 4 at the bottom, though. He's a goofy looking guy.
Weird.
I
ass.
think
things
11 is the
on
goofy looking guy.
Really? Well, you're
Yeah.
not the only one making this tier maker. So who thinks we should put 11 above 4? I do. Backseat, you're breaking this.
I honestly, I'm just hearing numbers. I also haven't played Dragon Quest, so I'm like 11 above 4. Sure, why not? let's do it.
You're the math guy. Like, those are numbers. Where do the numbers go?
Look, 11 goes higher than 4, and that's just
Okay, Peach has to be an A tier to piss off the Daisy fans.
Do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Lucario is Pokemon, so we're gonna move him in there. Okay. And Mewtwo, I guess, as well.
Mewtwo
All right.
can't even anything. Like, Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isabelle, we're also gonna move there. All right. Joker. Joker's actually a high school student, right?
Yeah,
well,
he is.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Luigi.
Which is funny because
Now.
once again he canonically has sex with people in his game, but
Yeah.
Now Luigi, I think. Now here's the thing. I think Luigi has a lot to prove. So I think he'd put the effort in. But however, the fact that he has a lot to prove surely proves that he is less sexy than Mario.
Oh.
I'm undecided.
Whew.
he is always
I don't
in his
know.
brother's shadow. So I don't think we can I don't think we can put him in a separate tier than Mario. I think he has to be right next to Mario, but one slot lower.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's ideal that he's just behind his brother. Just so he can taste the potential of maybe being ahead, but absolutely not.
Nintendo did say that Luigi has that bulge canonically. So
Oh, yeah, from
Oh
that image.
yeah.
yeah.
People like did
In,
did
Mario
the
Tennis.
math.
I don't know. You know what? Put him above Mario. Screw Mario. Screw that guy.
All right.
Put
Above
Luigi
Mario?
away. Yeah.
Or Luigi tier.
All right. Meta Knight.
I don't know what Meta Knight is. I'm gonna put him in C tier, especially because C tier looks like it needs more people.
Sure. Fill it up.
Yeah. Buff out.
I like he's the same as he's a mature version of like what Kirby is. So like
Yeah.
whatever C tier.
All right. Min Min.
Min's
The arms
gonna be
kind of
fairly
freak me
high.
out. I think the arms
Oh.
kind of freak me out, but that's just me. If you guys want to rate higher, it's
What
fine.
she
Well,
doesn't-
the arms are optional, right? She can turn that on and off.
She can turn it on and off. Yeah, by wearing
True.
it down.
True.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's holding down a steady job. I think she's in that noodle bar. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
pretty
think
good.
she's pretty cute. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to just toss somebody else into A tier, but let's make her B tier. Just to,
I would say B tier, but if
Yeah.
enough people vote A, I'm not gonna oppose it. Put it that way.
I would say A tier.
Yeah, let's go for that.
yeah, let's go for A tier.
All right. Simon and Richter.
Okay, listen, Richter's a pretty boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
and
Richter is
Simon-
like S.
Yeah, Simon has that leather daddy energy, and both of them are really good with whips. So I just want to put that out too.
Yeah, the whip thing it's a big factor. I definitely think Richter's above Simon. I like Simon, but he's probably got some of that reuse stuff where I think he's from a time when
Where he doesn't
taking care of
he smells a
yourself
little
wasn't
bit.
exactly. Yeah, it wasn't.
Okay,
actually
we'll
a
put him
thing.
at B. We'll put him at B for smell.
All right.
B for
Alright, so-
Belmont.
Yeah, B for Belmont. Oh yeah, we just got them both done. We really should
Yeah.
just done. We should just alphabetize the rosters. That's what we really should have done.
This is what this is what we're actually doing. Rosalina.
She's tall too. We talked about the
Yeah,
tall
she
thing.
is.
She's
I mean,
super
she's
tall.
also like the mother to all the Lumas. So
Yeah, she's got
Although-
mommy
al-
energy.
Although, as we're saying with Banjo and Kazooie would be there judging you the entire time. Rosalina does come with Luma. Apparently, you can't get rid of that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I feel
when are you
comfortable.
gonna have time to just have time with the two of you? Put her
Yeah.
also in B tier. She's a tall woman. She's got that mommy energy. I would put her.
I
in
would
A
say
tier, but-
A tier, but it sounds like
but we have to think about it, Push,
Yeah.
that you're not going to have time to spend with her alone because she always
about
has
this?
to take care of Lumas.
B tier, but above Daisy. Piss off Daisy fans.
Yes.
Continue the trend.
Perfect.
all right. Shulk.
Oh, he's got that shirtless thing too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying Shulk is an S tier because S is for Shulk.
I'm gonna say low A tier.
Okay, low A tier.
Alphabetized.
Somebody just said
no
Rob
idea.
is S tier. Rob has a vibrate function, my man.
Rob exists. Rob is the
Yeah.
only thing on here you can actually, spend some quality time with.
Oh, Polly
I think
001.
I'm pretty positive Shulk is 18 in the game.
Polly 001
Yeah, I did.
says that.
I did a Google, and it says 18-year-old Homs.
Yes.
Yes.
Someone asked in chat what I have against Daisy. I have nothing against Daisy, but we collectively decided to have something against Daisy, so I'm just going along with it.
I just think it's funny.
Luigi also cross
Daisy.
dresses, so we should push him in an A tier. We can.
I think just move the Luigi tier up one notch.
Yeah.
Just
There
move
you go.
Luigi
Yeah.
tier up above A tier. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not
Alright.
quite S, but it's above it.
Last one, Steve. I'm gonna say
Steve.
Steve is also like the.
Where do we put Alex?
Yeah,
Say the same
Alex
thing.
is D.
Just-
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in addition, Steve's like facial hair or not facial hair situation means that there's always an option that he just has a filthy mouth, just a grubby mouth, like he hasn't wiped it after eating a chocolate cake. So I'd say not ideal again.
All right, so I guess we finally finished after an hour and 15 minutes of doing this tier list.
Time well spent. Time well spent.
Time well spent. This is the official tier list of Hotness.
Right,
So-
we can tweet that out. We're gonna get Daisy fans and Rosalina fans. I think are gonna be upset. Let me see who else is gonna be upset.
I'm not fully satisfied. I don't agree 100%, but this is
Yeah,
what the console
but I mean,
has.
this was done in a peer group. I think there was a lot of thought put into this, and it definitely wasn't rushed through in the last half because we wanted to finish.
Yeah.
No, I
feel
think
like if I said did this would be a little different, but the way we did it, this is what happened. So be it.
Yeah.
Here we are.
yeah.
It's done, and we can never change it. This is just how it is now. Sorry.
All right, well, we are going to move on to our next topic, which is what characters actually have a shot for DLC. What characters are going to Smash, not what characters we are going to Smash. And
I love that this got buried beneath what we just discussed.
Yeah, okay, real quick before we wrap up, let's just talk about who might be coming next. Blah, 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 but who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, nobody cares about this part.
Let's just all pick a Pokemon, and then we can leave.
Yeah, it's probably just a Pokemon. Yeah.
so, yeah,
Alright, that's it, guys. Thanks for coming up. No.
what we did last time we had Papagenos on was what was it, like buy or sell? If you thought a character
Yes.
would have a shot, right? So let's do that again.
Okay.
Let's start off with Pokemon. Do you think that Pokemon was going to be likely as the last character? Would you buy or sell? Backseat.
So is that buy the pass, or am I like buying stock?
Buy
in the idea that
as
it's
you
likely?
believe that it would happen.
Yes. So I would. I mean, I think it feels more likely than it feels unlikely. I think we've been a while without a Pokemon now, and it seems like every 8th character is a Pokemon, and we're now well past Incineroar to the point where a new Pokemon popping up would feel totally likely. There isn't a whole new game though. Incineroar was from. Oh wait, Incineroar was from Sun and Moon, right?
Yes, that's right.
Right.
Is that right? Okay, then we could have Sword and Shield. Yeah, it feels quite likely. I'd probably buy into that as a theory.
Okay, and Papagenos.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it too. I don't want to. I'm hoping that's not what it is, but like, is it possible? Yeah, it's definitely possible. They could end our Pokemon. I also think from like a Nintendo point of view, and Nintendo's choosing these DLC characters. They maybe want to end on something for Smash Ultimate here that like, oh, it's we'll try to please everybody at the end. It's just a very in the middle neutral kind of ending. I feel like they would think Pokemon would be like that, even though I think most fans would be like, oh man, Pokemon. So yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I think it's possible.
Spuzzy?
So I think if they do another first party to end the past, it's gonna want to be something that's relevant and recent, but not something that was started later in development. So that leaves us with kind of fewer options. And Pokemon, it makes sense because I guess the game came out 2 years ago. But when did the DLC end? Like, not that long ago, right? Like a year, maybe?
The first pass, you mean?
No. The Sun and Moon, not Sun and Moon.
The Sword and Shield DLC, you mean? I thought you meant the Smash DLC or something. Yeah. Sword and Shield DLC ended last year. It was like last November or something.
Right. So at that point, they would have been looking into the new pass, into who they were finalizing. So I honestly believe that they were probably in talks for all of these characters, especially for Sephiroth and Steve, even before Pass 1. But they were probably finalizing who they were going to work on at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think a Pokemon makes sense. I'm gonna buy on it, but it almost feels too expected, and nothing in this pass has been expected. Not one of these characters has been the one that everyone expects, and now everyone expects a Pokemon. So it's kind of weird to say that it seems too likely to be likely. But I'm gonna buy.
I'm gonna sell. I don't think it's going to be a Pokemon just because I think it's gonna miss that kind of window. Like I know that we have the remakes. Was it Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl?
And we have Legends as well.
And we have Legends as well. I think
those are too new.
I think they're almost too new, and they're also the kind of remakes. Yeah, they're not like brand.
Well, Legends isn't, but and remakes like it's not like they picked Fiora over Rex and Pyra. I feel like remakes don't have like a huge effect on who gets selected for Smash.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like Pokemon is gonna miss out on this DLC pass. I don't know. I just have that feeling. I think if it's a promotional pick, which I think it's more likely than not, it's gonna be a promotional pick just because the last character of all DLC so far has been a promotional pick, and as I mentioned before, it helps keep the roster fresh, keeps the roster updated, and everything like that. So that 5 years down the line, it's not like, oh yeah, all these characters are games from 10 years ago. It's only from 5 years ago. I think like Breath of the Wild 2 character is almost more likely, just because it's an established series. It's already bound to do well. I was having like I said at the beginning of this, I was just on Discord talking to Delphazin, and I'm with you on Breath of the Wild 2. He feels like, but that game's so far out from release, and this and that, and it's still being worked on. It's so far from being finalized. But I think that matters way less in a game like Zelda, where everything's already pre-established and you know everything. I don't think that matters at all. And like,
especially if the Zelda character was like Breath of the Wild 2 Zelda, or the Champions, or someone else we know, but they're just gonna have a role in Breath of the Wild 2, then I don't think that makes it such a like difficult thing to add into Smash. To both promote Breath of the Wild 2 and also not be like, oh, we don't even know who this character is for another 6 months. It's like, we know who the character is. It's just, we're gonna see more of them in Breath of the Wild 2 or something. Yeah,
I guess since we were talking about it, I would buy on a Zelda character 100%.
Yeah, I'd buy on a Zelda, sell on a Pokemon. Was going to be my point. I think that for Breath of the Wild 2, like, we also know that like for Breath of the Wild, like Sakurai had an early version of that game for Link in Smash Ultimate, and so like he played through it and had an understanding of how the character would work and everything like that. And it's not unreasonable to think that Nintendo would want Sakurai to add another Zelda character into Smash to help promote.
It's Zelda's a big anniversary this year. I'm sorry, Metroid and other franchises, but Zelda's the one that Nintendo is going to push. And they would have planned this pass out a long time ago, so they would have had information on the Zelda character, all the design documents. So I definitely buy. I guess Backseat's the only one that hasn't bought or sold on Zelda.
Yeah, I think I would sell on Zelda. I don't think it's going to happen purely because it seems like Smash is always a year at least behind new game releases, to the point where even Xenoblade Chronicles 2 missed out being in Smash, even though it came out before Smash did, and it missed out on the first Fighters Pass. I would say that as good as the relations are, I can't see a repeat of which character was it who came out in Smash before he came out
Roy.
in an actual game? Yeah, Roy. I can't see a repeat of that where, say, a Breath of the Wild 2 character comes out before Breath of the Wild 2, which it would have to because it would be coming out this year. And I don't think it will be another Breath of the Wild character because we already got Breath of the Wild Link. Mm-hmm. So I'd probably sell on Zelda.
Also, just point out that the bonus Mii costume we got with the second pass was a Breath of the Wild. What was it, Guardian armor?
That's
whatever.
a good point.
Yeah, which you can look at it one of two ways. You can say like, oh, that's kind of our throwing us a bone like the Rex fans got, or you can look at it like, hey, Rex almost happened, and we got Pyramithra a little later. Heihachi, we got a Mii costume, ended up getting Kazuya. Maybe Sakurai is talking to the Breath of the Wild 2 team. Maybe that's where that Mii costume came from in the first place for the second pass. So, maybe Zelda is ending it. But whatever. It's all speculation.
I almost think the opposite.
Yeah, I was going to say the opposite.
Because Rex wasn't part of Pass 1. It wasn't until Pass 2 happened. So if there's a Pass 3, which there's not, maybe. But yeah, now that you mention that, I feel like maybe they gave us that because there wasn't going to be any Breath of the Wild 2 stuff. I don't know. I'm on the fence with this one.
Yeah, same. I mean, I'm going to buy on a Zelda rep just on the concept of it, but on the specific topic of that Mii costume and what that could mean, given what happened with Tekken and Heihachi, given, like you said, with Rex, Rex was the bonus for the first path, and we got Pyramithra in the second path. I'm not quite sure, but I could see it going either way for how I want to look at that Mii costume. If I want to look at it for that's throwing us a bone for Breath of the Wild 2, or that's indication that something Breath of the Wild 2 is coming, I honestly could see it going 50-50, which is kind of the same way I feel about a Zelda rep in general. So whatever, I'll buy on it for the maybe.
And like in my heart of hearts, I'm not really feeling very confident in Pokemon or Zelda, but I just I can't not buy on them because I can't count them out. Like I feel like they make too much sense. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I said before, it's almost, this pass has been about unexpected characters, and both of them seem too safe to me almost.
Yeah,
they're definitely like kind of what you would expect. And I hate bringing this up, especially when Sakurai was so firm about it in the last direct that Challenger Pack 11 is the end of this, nothing else. But if there was some sort of bonus character, like then suddenly Zelda rep, Pokemon rep shoot way up to like, I could totally see that as just a little extra bonus character. But I don't even like speculating on that at this point because Sakurai has just so firmly been telling us over and over again.
I wonder if he has any surprise up his sleeve as far as anything that's not a character that he can show off in the last direct, because I feel like he likes to show stuff off. So like maybe some stages or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely thinking that we'll have a surprise. I don't know what that surprise is going to be, but I think there'll be a surprise before this is over. So yeah, saying it's going to be an extra character.
Doesn't it feel like there would be like, because there's only one character in one presentation? It feels like they want to save something. And I know it's not going to be a character or an echo or anything like that. Mii costumes are so passé, and there's not going to be modes. He already said there weren't any modes, so probably nothing.
Well, on modes, I think he said something. The mode, I think his comment on modes was specifically like, what did he say? How did he put it? I think he said this will be. It was something like, I'm trying to remember the wording. It was like, this is probably going to be the final mode or something. I don't even remember what it was that he said that for. So I think there's a possibility there could be like an extra mode or something.
It could. You know what it could be? It could be something as simple as, for all of those Mii costumes that we've added, we're adding spirit battles for them.
Yeah, something. Right. I'm not expecting anything. Or it'd be cool if we got something really huge. But I do feel like there's going to be some sort of extra surprise.
Yeah,
whether that's exciting for the fans or not, I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry for sidetracking us again.
No. It's cool. I like talking that stuff.
I see Push has to run off, so I've got a list of things that I thought could be possible, so we can talk about those real quick as well now that Dustin, Push has had to run off. So first of all, I've basically based all these off the two most likely things with the math, because as you have brought me on, although the math is now behind me, and I will never talk about the math again, I may as well talk about the math again. A Japanese platformer is the most likely combination of things to happen, judging by the fact that is what Smash most likely represents, and hasn't been in this pass at all. So, we're kind of overdue. So those include characters like let's say like Pauline was in Donkey Kong, which is like one of the potentially the first platformers ever, right? So Pauline, I know she's in the background of that one stage. Pauline, could that be a character added?
I'm selling on Pauline. She's already a stage element, and I think if they were going to upgrade a Mario character, it would not be Pauline.
All right, then let me hit you with this one. What about Bub and Bob from Bubble Bobble?
Well, we already
kind
got
of like a puzzle platformer.
Well, we already got a Square Enix rep. Do you think we're going to get another one? Could be.
I think, as you say, this pass is so wild and unpredictable that there is no reason to apply any rules of logic to any of this anymore. I think
I would love Bub and Bob. I actually I follow Bub and Bob for Smash on Twitter.
Yeah, no, I also love Bub and Bob.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Any old NES reps, I'm like always a fan of, because that's like NES, Super NES is like my favorite, I don't know, era of like gaming stuff. So I'm always happy to see old school characters make it.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I would love Bump and Bob. Everyone here knows, like if Bomberman wasn't an assist trophy, I'd be all on Bomberman right now.
Yeah, I would be too.
I'm just so, and this may be a bit strong, but I'm a little bit sick of just humanoid characters, just human characters. I'd like something like, you know, the old school Pokemon we would get, like, you know, a Bulbasaur or a Charizard or whatever. Now it's all just like Incineroar's kind of human shaped, you know, Greninja's kind of human shaped, stuff like that. Like, I just want something that's just an animal, like a beast or something. And I think Bub and Bob would be very cool little dinosaur boys. I think that would be a really nice aesthetic change as well as a good representation.
That's why Amaterasu is the best Capcom rep, because she's a fire doggo.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see some more variety. The DLC has been almost entirely human characters, and even when it hasn't been, it's been Steve and Banjo-Kazooie, and I mean, Steve is basically a human character, just blocky, and Banjo-Kazooie, like you said, has that humanoid look to them. But Banjo-Kazooie is really the only one we've gotten, and I'd definitely rather get some, I don't know, something just a little more out there, a little stranger, body type-wise, or whatever you want to call it, would be neat, just for variety.
But I guess let's push this back. Do you want to continue on the list, and we'll just buy and sell? And then Backseat can go with the math? Or do you want Backseat to finish with his math?
I am not cramming my math in anywhere it doesn't need to be. This is just, I needed to limit myself to a list somehow, and I think exclusively Japanese platformers as a kind of section that isn't represented at all.
So what about, you're saying Japanese platformers, but what about games that are action platformers or with humanoid characters? Like Ninja Gaiden has 3 games that are action platformers. Would that count as a Japanese platformer?
I have always counted action platformers as a platformer because it gets difficult because, for example, Mega Man, it's like I'd kind of count that as a platformer, and you're basically doing the same thing as you did in old school Ninja Gaiden. I would say Ninja Gaiden would count, and I think that would be another solid choice. Although, is that Namco or is that something else?
That's
Tecmo.
Koei Tecmo. Okay, sorry, Koei Tecmo. Good. So like also actually just talking of Namco reps maybe being maybe now not happening purely because you probably wouldn't have 2 back-to-back. 3 on this that I thought would count but are Namco are Katamari is almost like a puzzle, like I don't know what genre Katamari would even be, but it could potentially be a kind of puzzly platformer thing. Katamari would be great, but that's also Namco. It'd be very unlikely to have 2 in a row at the end, right? And Klonoa, obviously, also Namco. Is I Namco from Monkey Ball?
That's Sega.
Sega, okay,
Sega.
Now, I is, I think, one that could have potential. I don't know how you would build an entire moveset around a ball, but
Sakurai could do it.
Sakurai could figure it out.
That's like my literally the thing that I look at the least is how potential to implement a moveset. Maybe not moveset potential, but how to implement it, because Sakurai will figure it out.
No matter what we think, Sakurai will just choose something else.
And what I mean by moveset potential versus how to implement it is Urban Champion. You could figure something out, but there's not much to work with. Kazuya and Tekken, that's very difficult to implement, but Sakurai will figure it out. You know what I mean?
The character needs the potential to have attacks and things in Smash, but I don't think, if you think like, well, how would that even work? How would that look? How would the character have their own unique, like that stuff? You have to just, accept that Sakurai will probably figure it out. Because he has so many times before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think if you can do it with Steve, you can do it with anyone.
Right.
Let's go on to another platformer character, and that's actually Waluigi. So,
yes.
Waluigi, I would buy on this character. I still think Waluigi has a really good shot of being the last character.
Yeah, I'd buy on him.
I'm gonna say
I would hard buy on a Mii costume.
I think there already is a Waluigi Mii costume.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Oh. Well then, good. I was proven correct. I win.
I'm gonna say I really don't think that they are going to upgrade any assist trophies. It just doesn't feel like something that they would do mid development cycle. Like once the game's already out there. I know there's ways around it. It's not It's not too difficult to implement code so that the assist trophy doesn't show up when a character is on screen. But it just doesn't feel like something that they would want to do. So I'm selling. And also, yeah, he's not a platformer character. He's just a sports and crossover character.
True. I think the thing with Waluigi that makes him, like, I don't really have anything against the assist trophy upgrade thing. Like, it seems like something that might not happen, but I don't think it would stop them from doing it. My biggest thing is that you'd have to bring a stage, you'd have to bring spirits, you'd have to bring music, and I just don't see the Waluigi. Like, you could do it, but would they do it? I don't think so. Like, that would be so specifically Waluigi.
The one thing that Sakurai said at the beginning of a DLC was that they wanted to bring new worlds into Smash, right?
Well, no, that was Reggie.
Was it Reggie?
Who said that?
Was it Reggie? Okay. But even then, so far, even when it is from a franchise that exists, like Xenoblade or Final Fantasy, even the Final Fantasy or Fire Emblem, they're all... They add so much. They do add a different perspective to the world. Final Fantasy is the only one that's a little different because it's still Final Fantasy VII, but because there was so little content, and you kind of get the end game content, it is kind of like adding a whole new world. But with Byleth, you added 3 houses. With Xenoblade, you added Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So you are adding like an entirely new world's worth of content. If you got a new Pokemon, you would add a new region. Like Waluigi would add like tennis, like
it's not the same. And Sakurai was the one who said adding new worlds. He said it in the Banjo-Kazooie Mr. Sakurai Presents. I literally watched it last night, so he did say it. He said something about, I think it was when he was talking about Fighter Pass 2, because I think he had just announced that before the Mr. Sakurai Presents Banjo-Kazooie. I think it was announced with the reveal of Terry or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he said something about like the big reason for doing another pass was to be able to add in more worlds or something. Okay. Yeah, expanding it. Yeah, it was Sakura.
Okay.
Reggie might have said something similar. I think Reggie said at the start of all the DLC that we wouldn't expect or something, and it might have had some element of new worlds or something. But Sakurai did at least repeat it in. And
I don't think Waluigi is impossible. I'm just selling on him though, because you gotta pick one or the other. We're at war. Pick a side.
He's another one of those. Again, I hate to bring up bonus fighter stuff or whatever, but he's another one of those. Like I feel like his chances shoot way up if it's just as an extra thing. But as part of the fighter pass, it's just tough. It's just tough for me to.
If 5 years from now they do like a like some sort of weird Game of the Year edition where they package everything together and throw in like how they did with the last version of Street Fighter V, like 5 extra characters in a couple stages, then Waluigi probably made it. I don't
exactly.
I don't feel like as for DLC for this game, I don't think he's in.
And any kind of little bit more than Smash goes a little bit further than Waluigi seems very possible. But at this point, I don't know if he'd be Challenger Pack 11.
All right, well, let's move on to the next series that I want to bring up, and that's actually Metroid. So Metroid's also having a huge anniversary this year. Do you guys think that Metroid Rep would have a chance as the last fighter for Smash
I
Ultimate
almost
DLC?
feel like if Dread wasn't coming out this year, but Prime 4 was, I think that then maybe we would see a character. But it's the 2D Metroid games aren't very character driven. I feel like from a development point of view, it was, especially because there was rumors that it was completed prior to this, it's actually in the perfect place to pull a first party character out of. And I guess you could do the EMI, the EMMI robots. That's the only thing I could think of. But in base game, I know one's an Echo, but Metroid's already had 2 additional fighters. And it just, I don't know. I don't feel like there's going to be a character with a strong enough presence to push it. So as much as I love Metroid, I'm going to sell.
Yeah, I'd also sell. I think, you compare other Nintendo franchises, like say Donkey Kong Country or whatever, and you think, okay, well, there's Dixie, there's Cranky, there's Funky, there's any number of other villains and other characters and all that sort of stuff. Like there's so many options kind of come to mind, and I think of Metroid, and I think, as you're saying, it's not very character driven at all. I can't think of a huge range of characters that would need to be added.
Yeah, at least the Prime games have the hunter characters. So like Silex, people always bring up. So that's like there's a little bit more to work with, but especially in the 2D games, it's just, Samus exploring things on her own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd sell on Metroid. I think Silex is a possibility if Prime 4 was maybe a little... Like, we haven't seen anything of Prime 4, so I just feel like it's so far out there. They wouldn't end on that at this point. It's one of those things, if Smash kept going, then Silex, maybe. But if we're talking Challenger Pack 11 here and Ultimate, I don't see Silex happening. Maybe next Smash or something. And then the EMI robot feels like I'm kind of thinking like, how Zelda basically only gets the Triforce holders and doesn't get like the one-off characters. And obviously that's something that's kind of unique to the Zelda series. But EMI feels like one of those things that I don't know, because obviously I haven't played that game. Dread's not out yet, so I can't know for sure. But that robot, like, it feels like it's probably going to be a big part of this game, and then that's where it is. It's a unique thing to this game. And I don't feel like it's something that they want to put in Smash and then have repping Metroid, especially after Metroid already got Ridley and Dark Samus this time. I'm just going to sell on it. I just don't think another one's going to happen for the end here.
I don't think EMI would have a good shot of being Challenger Pack 11. As you said, like, I don't think they'll be particularly revisiting that one, because I think that EMI is the big draw of Dread, and I think that's what will help make Dread really stand out. But I don't know if they will bring EMI back for the other games in the future.
Right.
Yeah. So I would feel like it would have to be like Silex, or maybe another one of the hunters. But yeah.
Or Anthony Higgs. Huh? Remember him?
Yeah. Remember him?
Remember me?
Well,
man, it just really quick aside. It kind of sucks that Other M was not that great and is not fondly remembered, because I like the character of Anthony Higgs. It'd be great to see him in something that doesn't suck one day.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to Crash.
Okay.
Crash is a highly requested character. Has an anniversary this year. A lot of people would love to see Crash. He's been requested since Melee. Do you guys buy or sell?
It pains me, but I think I'm going to sell on Crash at this point. I would love to see them end on Crash. It'd be such a high note. I'd be so into it. There's definitely, reason, like you said, the 25th anniversary and stuff. But I really logically believe, after getting Kazuya as our E3 reveal, that if Crash were in here, it would have been Crash at E3, and Kazuya would have been at the end. I see no reason not to do it that way. If Crash is in here, I see no reason to end on Crash instead of putting him at E3. So I really think, Crash is probably not going to be Challenger Pack 11. As much as it pains me, and I'd love to be wrong, and I'd love to get Crash, that's where I'm at with him. So I'm going to sell.
Hard agree. I think that Crash would be a good fighter. I think there'd be lots of moveset potential. I think the stage could be so many things. There's so much potential environments in Crash that would be really good. So much great music, all that sort of stuff. However, that's just thinking about, would this be a good character? I think if you're thinking how likely it is, for a bunch of reasons that you just listed, like, he would have been the E3 character if he was. but also just like I've just finished likely making fun of people who are always saying Crash is going to be in next in my latest video, because every character, it's going to be Smash. Leaks are saying it's going to be Smash. It's definitely going to be Smash. Sakurai tweeted a picture saying it's going to be Smash, and then it's not Smash, you know what I mean, Crash, and then it's not Crash. So I just can't see it going differently this time. I think it's happened, this dance has played out so many times before, I have to sell on Crash. I can't see it happening.
Spazzy?
I want to go back and sell on every character because I don't think we have any idea what's going to happen. I'm just thinking about it. It's like, I don't know. My dog also hates Crash Bandicoot, so he's... Sorry, I love Crash, but he hates him. He does not think that he's going to get into Smash. I have to agree with the dog on this one. Oh, good, he stopped barking. So, yeah, like, I like Crash as a character. Moveset-wise, by the way, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's one of those things, like, where Banjo was kind of implemented perfectly from a moveset perspective. I feel like Crash should be done the same way, but it would be kind of... I don't feel like Crash has enough of a DLC hook, because I feel like they everything's had, like, such weird, intricate
systems,
facets to their design. Yeah.
I think you could do a mask system. He gets 3 masks and then he's invincible and stuff like that. Yeah, you could.
And not only that, but like I said, moveset isn't a reason for or against, really, because Sakurai can do whatever. And also Nintendo's been picking the characters. I like Crash. I think Crash is one of the last big mascots that really needs to be in, and I'd love for him to be the next pass, but I'm also going to sell. I just don't feel like Nintendo is going to be working, especially because Nintendo's picking anything with any other big Western third parties. I think things got kind of rolled with Microsoft, so like Microsoft managed to get 2 in at once, but they're obviously much more comfortable working with Japanese third parties, so I feel fairly confident, if nothing else, that the next character is going to be Japanese, so I'm going to sell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's more likely to be Japanese than not, just because, like you said, it makes it easier. And also, like Papagino said, I think if it was a Western character, it probably would have been shown off at E3. I think that makes the perfect sense as in terms of timing a reveal and everything like that. Yeah. And Crash,
the only Western character, the last pass, was Banjo shown at E3, so it would make sense.
Yeah, and I think like having like a Western character at E3 is the perfect time, because it's like the most appealing for Western audience who are watching it and everything like that. Yeah. So yeah, I think I might have to sell on Crash now, as much as it pains me, as much as I really want him to be in Smash. But he still has a shot, but I think that his shot is less likely now than it was before.
Yeah, agree.
Let's move on to another Western character, actually, and that's Jonesy from Fortnite. Fortnite is a really big game. It's one of the most popular games on the planet right now.
One of the top selling games on Switch too.
Yeah,
we're not selling, but like
and I think something that's really interesting to note is I think in 2018, like when Dragon Quest 11 won a bunch of awards at the Tokyo Game Show, Fortnite also won a couple of awards there. So it's been on the radar for a long time. It seems like it's possible. What do you guys think?
I think I'm probably going to sell. I think it's less likely than likely, but I think it's more likely than people care to admit. I think people would be like, that would be awful. Absolutely not. I actually think it's more likely than that, but I still would sell because I don't think it's over 50% likely.
There are very few franchises that would bring people into Smash because they are larger than Smash.
Yeah.
Fortnite is one of them, where you can bring fans of Fortnite in because there are a lot of Fortnite fans that aren't Smash fans, because it is one of the few games in existence that is massively larger than Smash.
And you can imagine the cross promo campaign of like various Nintendo characters appearing in Fortnite and Fortnite appearing in Smash, and yeah.
It makes a lot of sense for a couple reasons. It's also, I feel like a lot of Westerners don't understand how huge Fortnite is in Japan. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah, it
something
is.
like we talked about like Crash. Crash is popular in Japan, but he's not huge in Japan. Fortnite is. Fortnite's just this massive thing globally. I think it makes a lot of sense, but I have to stick to my guns. I said we're not going to get a Western character, so I'm selling.
Yeah, I would like to say,
Yeah.
when I was still teaching, like, Fortnite was regularly brought up by my students, and like, they would do the Fortnite dances in class and stuff like that. So it is a thing here.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Papa.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'd sell on Fortnite as well. Not because I don't think Fortnite could get into Smash. I actually totally agree. I think it definitely has the potential to get into Smash, but very similar reasoning to Crash. I could see it happening next game. I could maybe see for Fortnite like a spirit event or even a Mii costume or something here. I did probably potentially get something bigger, but maybe it was like a late choice. But my reasoning for selling, again, similar to Crash, is because I feel like it would have been E3 and you would have had Kazuya last.
Yeah.
Like that just is the way you would definitely set that up.
It does feel like an E3 reveal, like for sure.
Yeah.
I think if you want to exit on a high note, as much as it would upset a lot of Smash fans, I don't really like Fortnite, but it checks off most of the boxes. It's not only is it on Nintendo hardware, but there's a lot of branded Fortnite Joy-Cons and Switches. It's a huge franchise. It has unique mechanics. It has a unique look. It would bring unique things to Smash. But all that being said, it just doesn't feel like the time for it. Like, yeah, maybe like the next Smash game. I wouldn't, honestly, I wouldn't hate most of the choices as long as they're well implemented. But it doesn't feel like the time for Fortnite. It's possible, but I'm selling.
Yeah, I feel like Fortnite could happen next game and be like the Minecraft of next game, but I don't think it's this one.
So are we going to talk about Disney Tsum Tsum next, like Nerbion just put in the chat?
Actually, the next character I want to talk about is kind of related to that, and that is
The Sora?
Sora. Yeah.
I sell on Sora every time. Because Disney
I'm also going to sell.
With. Yeah.
I'm in
That's
the
it.
same
Like,
boat.
like it's a great choice. Eastern and Western fans seem to like Sora. Even though he is technically a Japanese swordsman, well, he uses a key. He uses a key the same way you would use a sword. He has a JRPG swordsman archetype, pretty much. But he's a popular character. But I feel like you would need to have some Disney content or he wouldn't feel authentic. I feel like that's something that Sakurai would want, and I feel like Disney is difficult to work with. That's the end of it, Is it possible? I mean, I just don't see it, guys. I'm selling. I'd be happy to see him, but I'm selling.
I'd love Sora.
I would also sell on Sora, although even with the Disney factor, I would sell on Sora less than I would sell on Crash Bandicoot, because it is a Japanese character, it is an RPG character. These are all things that appear in Smash a lot. So I would think slightly more likely than something like Crash, but still, due to various things, unlikely, and I would sell.
I mean, Sora would be an excellent character to end off on. I think everybody would be happy with that. It would be maybe one of the few remaining like Smash miracles where we're just like, that actually happened, like that's left. Because pretty much everything is just considering the stuff we've gotten in Smash, it's tough to pick something that happens. And I mean, you can pick things that surprise people but really make you go, wow, the Smash roster can really have anything, Sora's one of the last remaining ones like that. But for the same reasons you guys pointed out, like the Disney stuff, I just don't see it happening. We already got Sephiroth, and I feel like if Sora was happening, like that would have been our Square character or something. I don't know. That's just the way I'm looking at it. It would be tough, I feel like, for Sora to actually get in at this point. Maybe in the future Sakurai will be able to work something out, but I don't know. I feel like Disney's tough to work with, and it's just, I think Sora has more of a hurdle to get over than a lot of people like to think. But would it be a cool character to end on? Hell yeah, I'd be all about Sora getting in at the end. But yeah, I'm not banking on it, so I'd sell.
Yeah, I had a theory which will almost certainly not hold up, but was interesting, which was that the Sephiroth reveal was, beautiful CGI. Went on for ages. It seemed like they put a lot of money into that Sephiroth reveal, and I was thinking that what if there was another character reveal trailer that literally picked up where that trailer left off, which was Cloud and Sephiroth joining swords, just looking at each other, and then a third figure swoops in, and it's Sora, a character who has also had Sephiroth as one of the final bosses, and fights Sephiroth, and then they fight together, and it would be almost like a two-part trailer, and that's why they spent so much, is because they could reuse all the assets for a second trailer. Which was, I was like, that's got potential. It does feel less likely as the pass goes on, though. I feel like they would do that directly after Sephiroth, but who knows?
Yeah. I mean, that would be monumental to end on. Like, Sora ending the pass, I think, would be amazing. I'm just wary of them actually going out on that high of a note. But that would be a great way to do it. A sequel to that trailer, kind of like Banjo was a sequel to the K. Rool trailer, would be awesome.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just not banking on it myself.
Yeah, that sounds like an amazing trailer idea.
Thank you.
Certainly love it. Well, let's go on to the next set of characters, and that's Capcom Rep. And there's a couple of different possibilities, but I think there's a Resident Evil character, and there's also a Monster Hunter character. So, do you guys think that any character from Capcom's vast IP, like could be even Phoenix Wright, do you think that they have a shot, or do you think that Capcom is out of this pass?
I think that out of third parties. Okay, so I said this, I think, on Twitter a little while ago. I know I've said it on Discord a lot. Is that I think the last character is either going to be a first-party Nintendo character or somebody from Sega, Capcom, or an unrepresented Japanese IP. I think Capcom's definitely still in play. The problem is that it seems like a lot of their characters are ruled out for one reason or another. Dante was just a Mii costume. Also, sorry guys, my allergies are awful today. So Dante's a Mii costume. Heihachi was a Mii costume, but I don't think Nero or Virgil are gonna get in if Dante's not getting in. Like
it's not the same as a fighting game. Exactly. It would be Dante.
It would be Dante. So Dante's out. Monster Hunter's a weird one because they technically could still add the hunter from Monster Hunter Rise, but they've literally gotten everything. Pretty much the only thing they're missing is an actual stage. They've gotten bosses, they've gotten assist trophies, they've gotten spirit events. Like they keep adding stuff for Monster Hunter. They have music, but they're not adding the character. So it's weird. Monster Hunter's still in the back of my mind, but there's also the whole thing of the Monster Hunter team not liking to use the characters for crossovers. I feel like that Sakurai team have really been trying to include as much Monster Hunter as they can without already including a character. So it would be a little weird, not completely out of the question, but I don't completely rule it out, but it still seems weird, so I don't think it's likely. I would sell on Monster Hunter. And that leaves, Phoenix Wright. I said some Amaterasu earlier, but things like those characters, Beautiful Joe, they seem like the next tier of Capcom characters, and it would be weird to get them before you get proper Monster Hunter or Resident Evil.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Resident Evil really is the next one. And here's the thing about Resident Evil is that I remember Emily Rogers was saying that Jill Valentine was worked on for base game, but they decided to drop Jill because they couldn't get it to work for some reason, and it actually sounded like it had more to do with contract and representation reasons. I don't remember exactly what it was, and Emily could be completely wrong.
Was she's a different person, not Emily Rogers?
Was it was Arcade Girl? Yeah.
I don't remember.
I know who it is, but I'm not sure if it's public knowledge, so I don't know if I want to say it.
No, it definitely...
It wasn't Emily Rogers, or at least if she said it, I'm not aware of her saying it. I know someone else who said it, but I don't know if it's public knowledge. But that is the knowledge of potentially Jill being worked on is known, but who said it, I don't know if it's public knowledge or not. But whatever. I mean,
I don't think it was Emily Rogers, but let's
Whoever,
there was that rumor.
And they have been going back to revisit ideas from base game, it looks like, or to finish things off, to get things that they didn't have time to do, to get an arms rep in there, to get to go back and look at Tekken, to get Sephiroth to finish the Final Fantasy content, to get Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in there. So if it was something they were looking at in base game, then it makes sense to finish off, to go back and see if they can finish that off correctly. Resident Evil, I think Resident Evil might be the largest Japanese IP that doesn't have a playable character. Yeah. I think that's true. That's just a fact. So but the thing about Resident Evil, you know what? Screw it. I think I'm gonna buy on it, even though the thing is, like, why would they give us a Spirit event with all of the playable characters that people would want? Like,
they didn't give us Claire Redfield. They didn't give us Claire.
Yes, but once again,
you're
not going to give. Yeah, but you're not going to have Claire above Chris, Jill, and Leon. You're not. That would be weird.
It's going to be Leon.
Winters. I could have Ethan Winters with no face. They could have Ethan Winters with a me face, and whatever me you pick. Actually, he would be a great me costume because we don't know what he looks like.
That would be good.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to buy or sell on Resident Evil. It's the weird one for me because I feel like that Spirit event makes it seem like they're not going to get in, and I feel like I don't think Spirit's deconfirmed, but I think when they introduce a whole bunch of Spirits at a point during DLC where they already know who the characters are going to be, you know, I'm sure Pass 2 was already planned out at that point, or at least heavily think. And even if it's not one of those characters, then who's going to be on the Spirit board? I mean, sure, you can put other characters on. And you can add them to the Spirit
board. You can
board,
reuse Spirits as well. Because
you can. You can.
They did with ARMS.
But it just... I think Capcom in general, I'm going to buy on. Resident Evil's... I don't know.
One thing I think that is really weird is that Capcom in particular has a lot of promotion in DLC. Like, they timed up the Arthur Mii costume. Or the Arthur Spirit event, right? They have like the Monster Hunter Stories promotional spirits. They have like all these different things that are timed up for promotional purposes, but no content, like no fighters in Fighter Pass 2. And so I think that's really weird.
They have no fighter in Fighter Pass 1 either. Like the only thing Capcom got was Ken as a new thing. And but they have tons and tons of DLC content, like you said, Spirit events, Mii costumes. So I could see, I'm definitely in the same boat as you, Spazzy, where first-party Nintendo character ending it, totally possible. But if it is third-party, Sega, to kind of repeat the Sega Atlas Persona stuff, Capcom, because of all the stuff they've gotten and you have to get a character in DLC, or a new, totally new third-party company, most likely Koei Tecmo. I think that's our third-party, like possibilities there. Sega, Capcom, or something else,
I think level 5 is they're not. I mean, they closed down some of their Western studios. They're not what they used to be. But you know, Layton or a Yokai Watch character or whatever else they do, like it's not completely unheard. Like it wouldn't be completely out of left field, especially Layton. I feel like it's a possibility, although not a very strong one.
Yeah. I would sell on Capcom in general, because I think there is no one thing that they have that I would be confident enough to buy in. I think the closest would actually be Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. As much as it kind of, you know, there are much bigger franchises they have, I think it's the most aesthetically appropriate to Smash. I think Resident Evil is a bit of a hard match. The only other kind of survival horror, you know, on stage presence that I know of is Fatal Frame. And the only representation for Fatal Frame are the two characters who are just girls, and then a camera shutter. There's no ghosts, right? There's kind of spooky sounds, but there's no like actual monsters. And so Resident Evil, I feel like Leon is just a guy with a gun. Chris is just a guy with a gun. Jill is just a girl with a gun. Like, if you wanted to have a Resident Evil character, you'd almost want Nemesis or something, but I think that's just too scary. I don't think that would work.
I think if it's a Resident Evil character, it'd be Leon or Jill. Just because
I think so too.
In terms of popularity.
And I know what you're saying, Backseat, is that at the end of the day, they're just cops. Like the interesting thing about Resident Evil isn't necessarily the playable characters, it's the experiences that they are going through. It's the monsters, it's the haunted houses. However, I'm not discounting the moveset potential, because once again I feel like Sakurai could figure something out. Like that's I used to be like you. No, but I've moved on to a point be like, I think with an important enough series that has so many different mechanics and things over the years that they can figure something out. So I'm not too worried about that. I do think that there are more interesting choices, although I love Resident Evil as a franchise. I think from a playable perspective, there are more interesting choices, but I just feel like
they would probably have the tank controls, wouldn't they?
That would be great.
Jill's playable in what is it? Marvel vs. Capcom, and she summons
2 and 3.
Yeah, and she summons zombies. Yeah, she has like zombies and zombie dogs and birds and stuff. Like, you could definitely make a cool moveset out of a Resident Evil character that wouldn't just be, a human with a gun with like 4 bullets in it.
I agree, but I think then again the genre is an issue, because I think like summoning a zombie, which is like an actual person zombie. Like the only zombie thing in Smash at the moment, right, would be something like the Minecraft alt, which is so abstracted that I think it's fine. I just can't imagine what rating is Smash like to summon like a vaguely realistic looking zombie. I don't.
I totally agree with that. Like, I think there's the moveset potential for a Resident Evil character, but if there is a reason, if we get a Capcom rep, let's say Capcom is the last spot, if we get a Capcom rep and it's not Resident Evil, I would think the reason it isn't Resident Evil is exactly what you said. It's probably because of the content of Resident Evil, not that it wouldn't be next in line. It's just... doing a spirit event with just the humans is like maybe the way we got some Resident Evil in Smash. It's it's within the Hall of Fame of gaming that is Smash, but we can only show so much of it.
So that's exactly why I would say Resident Evil probably a no for those reasons, probably a sell. Monster Hunter probably a sell for the reasons you all very, very in detail went over about stuff like we've already got so much, it feels like they've basically already got everything out of that well in the game. And so that's why Phoenix would probably be my most favorite, because he's the only one without a compelling argument why not. He would fit kind of in the game, and he's a less big series, but other than that I think he would fit fine. But still, I don't think I'd be confident enough.
He has a different moveset. He has a different moveset problem, and how do you make a moveset for him that doesn't just seem like, because that it's... I feel like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 kind of did it, but then how do you make that unique and fit into Smash, where he's just looking for...
Yeah, you might have to do it with like an Isabelle situation, where a lot of his moves are almost like damaging
or incidental.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Sakurai want to add in a Yumi at one point, and that's another like visual novel character?
He said that he considered her, not that he wanted that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, still, I could see Sakurai. We talked about how moveset, probably shouldn't be a reason to brush off a character. And I could see Sakurai being interested in seeing if he could get a visual novel character to work. So, but I honestly think if Capcom did get the last spot, I think it would be Phoenix Wright. I actually think Phoenix Wright has quite a bit going for them right now. And while Monster Hunter or Resident Evil, maybe like numbers wise would make sense, there's reasons not to. We went over the reasons not to do Resident Evil. And Monster Hunter, we have that whole thing where the developers of Monster Hunter don't like the hunter representing Monster Hunter. So, Smash we've gone over this, everything else, for Monster Hunter except the playable fighter pretty much in a stage. Like Sora has a stage, like Rathalos has that boss stage. So like, I feel like if you were to go down the line of Capcom stuff and you take out Resident Evil, you take out
two
Monster Hunter
Capcom franchises.
Yeah. And then I think it becomes Devil May Cry or Ace Attorney. Like that's kind of what you get down to. And we just got the Dante Mii costume, and not to have it, not to get this to happen to us again where we think Heihachi counts out Tekken or whatever, but I think it'd be weird to give us Dante after getting the Dante Mii costume. So I don't think Virgil or Nero is who you'd go with. You'd go with Dante. So I don't see that being the last one. So I actually think Phoenix Wright has a pretty good shot at the final character. And just thinking about Phoenix Wright, this is total fantasies, sort of like what you were saying, Backseat, about the Sephiroth Cloud trailer or whatever. But my fantasy here with Phoenix would be We get Phoenix Wright as the last Challenger Pack 11, and then Sakurai says, "That's it, no more fighters." And then Phoenix says, "Objection," and we get Fighter Pass 3. That would be quite the reason to save
strong.
Phoenix for the end.
Yes.
I'm at Capcom's official sales page here. Let's see. Where's Phoenix Wright? Man, Lost Planet sold 17 million. Oh, okay, no, 6.3. That's the number of titles.
Besides just sales, though, I will also say this. Ace Attorney has a long history with Nintendo specifically. I think that would even maybe bump it up a little bit, even if its sales were lower than other Capcom things.
Man. Phoenix Wright isn't even on here. There's Ace Attorney. I was like, okay, there you go. Ace Attorney is 8.1 million. Devil May Cry is 23. Monster Hunter is 72 million. Dead Rising is also above Ace Attorney at 14. What else?
I think but Phoenix Wright,
Cry is 23 million. Devil May Cry is also huge.
Like Papa said, it has a strong history with Nintendo fans, and it's kind of influential in its own way. It had its own movie at one point. So I would say
sales aren't the start and end of it.
Yeah.
And Nintendo's been pretty instrumental in that series. So yeah, I agree. This is more of a curiosity. It looks like it's Resident Evil, Monster Hunter, Street Fighter, Devil May Cry, Mega Man, Dead Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom, Onimusha, then Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
It's number 9. Anyway, sorry.
You could always have Mike Hagar.
Some Final Fight reps.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Classic.
Final Fight rep.
Yeah. Although, really, what would he do that Incineroar doesn't already do?
You're right. He's very much just a human Incineroar, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Capcom's weird. Yeah, I don't know. And I do think Ace Attorney is up there. I think it's probably the next one.
Yeah, I think if at this point, if we ended on a Capcom character, I would say it's Phoenix Wright. Considering everything that's happened for Capcom at this point, if you went back before all the DLC and asked me who do I think that is Capcom going to get in, who would it be? I probably would have said like Dante, but But at this point, I'm thinking if it is Capcom, Phoenix Wright, but I'm not saying it is. Capcom.
Yeah, and the other thing that Ace Attorney has going for it is that it's still like an active franchise where stuff is happening.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I don't want to bring up too much of that big Capcom leak or whatever, but I think there was Ace Attorney stuff in there, and I think it definitely has a future.
Yeah, so. It's different than saying like, oh, why don't we get somebody from Okami? Because I brought up Amaterasu before. It's because they're not really doing much with Okami. Not only is it not big, not huge, but it's also just not super active. And there's a difference between Dead and like Ghosts and Goblins is the same way. Like, yeah, a game came out, but they're not like pushing it as a big series or anything.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that brings us back in. It's a perfect segue into our next topic, which let me just prepare real quick.
Drum roll.
And so people in the chat were asking us, what do we think about indie reps, and why would Nintendo not do that? Because certainly those characters are a lot easier to negotiate rights for and everything like that. And I think for indie reps, the reason that they're not full characters is because the way that Nintendo has kind of structured the past is because partly to set up deals with companies to make sure that companies are in good favors of Nintendo, and to sell games on the eShop as well, and to ensure that future games of that series would get would be on the Nintendo's platform, right? Because if they get Sephiroth and Cloud into Smash, then maybe Square Enix would be more likely to put more Final Fantasy content on the Switch. So I think that's part of the reason, and also because AAA gaming it just has more fans than indie games.
It also has a more prestige.
Yeah.
It as great as something like Shovel Knight is, like you put it next to like Cloud, and people perceive it differently, even if they shouldn't. They do.
Although there's a counter argument, which would be something like maybe Sakurai wants to just break one last barrier just before the pass ends in this, last hurrah, because, you have your third-party character get added, and that's a big deal. But now that's become the norm. So then what does he do? He adds, say, like a mature character, like, I don't know, Snake or like Bayonetta, for example, right? A character that you'd be like, whoa, why are they in Smash, right? Then you add a character from Microsoft, and it's like, whoa, from one of the competing consoles? Wow, that's another barrier broken. But now the only barriers really to break are something like, this is a small game in Smash. Well, not small, you know what I mean? An indie game in Smash. I can't think of many other barriers other than including a Sony character.
Well, I don't know about barriers. There's definitely a lot of genres, though, that Smash hasn't touched yet.
I suppose.
Yeah, proper RTS, point-and-click adventure, a puzzle rep, like an actual puzzle rep. Like
Professor Layton. Professor Layton.
Go back to Sega. I would be so happy if it finished on Arle Naja. Puyo Puyo rep.
Yeah,
that would be...
she'd be cool. I'd be totally cool with that ending too.
Yeah.
We were talking about like what third-party companies, Sega, Capcom, or like a Koei Tecmo, something that isn't in there yet. Yeah, it's for Sega. That's totally a possibility. Out of left field one, but yeah.
But she's really big in Japan.
Yeah, and she has that history too. I definitely think she'd be cool.
Yeah. I would just for the sake of it, just for the fun of it. This will be one of the very few things I buy on. I'll buy on an indie rep just because I want to see if Sakurai's got anything weird cooking. I want to see what he would do with that. So I'm going to buy.
I'll sell on an indie rep because I feel if we were going to get an indie rep, it would be. I mean, we've already had Shovel Knight, we've already had Cuphead, we had Shantae, we've had Undertale. I feel like we've gotten decent representation from several indies and some high profile. I mean, you could get like, I don't know, The Knight from Hollow Knight or something. But I feel like if we get an indie, it would be one of those characters that we already said. Maybe Quote. I would say Quote because he's kind of like the grandfather of the modern indie, platform.
Yeah, Quote would be awesome. I'd be all about Quote, but I do think I know you were talking about breaking new ground.
I always forget Reimu exists. I'm sorry. That's not. Yeah. That's not me. It's not like me saying anything bad about Reimu. I literally forget.
Reimu and Quote are like the elder indie characters. Kind of started the whole indie gaming thing to some extent. But yeah, I think as far as breaking new ground with indie stuff, I feel like we already did that. Like, we don't have a playable fighter, and I get that, but we do have all these indie games repped in Smash, and just the way I feel like Sakurai looks at Smash is a little different than the way the fans do. If he gets music from something, if he gets a spirit, if he gets Mii costumes, I think he considers that like, we got that in Smash, where fans are a little less like, we're more strong line about is it a playable character though, so I feel like we've gotten indie characters in Smash in Sakurai's mind, so I don't feel like that's something he needs to break. With
Reimu in particular, remember this isn't Sakurai selecting the characters, it's Nintendo, and does Nintendo see value in putting something from the Toho project, which is basically shareware? It's basically everybody just does what they want. Would Nintendo think it would be valuable to add Reimu as the character? Because they're the ones selecting, not Sakurai. And
Nivotcom Pivot in the chat also raised a good point that Steve is arguably an indie rep.
Yeah.
So
that
might already be done.
Yeah, that's probably. And I mean, if we're gonna get an indie rep, Minecraft obviously is it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, most sales. I don't know, whatever. It's way up there as far as video games themselves go.
Guys, I also want to say when it comes to Mii costumes, having a character join as a Mii costume doesn't mean that it got them out of the running for being a character. It means that they would have had absolutely nothing, and instead they got a Mii costume. It's not like, oh, should I make them a Mii costume or a character?
Right.
Yeah, they never had that discussion.
I also think we know for sure Nintendo chose the DLC or whatever. I'm sure it's a little bit of an organic back and forth talking process, but Nintendo's the one making the choice. As far as Mii costumes go, though, we don't know who's making the choice, and that might be Sakurai. Like, Sakurai might have full control over Mii costumes, and he might be going out to all these different companies and getting stuff. So, if you really wanted Dante as a playable character, Nintendo maybe didn't choose it, but maybe Sakurai said, I'm going to at least make sure something Devil May Cry gets in here. And that could be it for a lot of stuff. So, I think, we have to be kind of happy with a lot of the Mii costumes in that regard.
I think with the Mii costumes, like, they know, with the characters, they know what characters are popular. They have the Smash ballot from Smash for Wii U and 3DS. They know what characters are talked about online. Nintendo literally monitors, like, websites like Reset Era and stuff like that. Like, it was revealed a long time ago. Like, they had that data leak recently where they were following that guy who was doing DS or 3DS homebrewing and stuff like that. So, like, Nintendo has a good, like, finger on the pulse for the Smash community. And I think, like, it doesn't matter if it's Sakurai or Nintendo who picks the characters, because they know what characters are popular. And I think, like, especially, like, with the last selection of Mii fighters, like, we know, like, those are all highly requested characters. So I think, like, I think, like, they knew what was popular. But one thing I want to say was that one indie character that I think gets ignored a lot is Baba Is You. I think Baba Is You would be kind of an interesting character. I don't think they have a good shot at all, but, like, the whole idea of Baba Is You is, like, breaking the game, and if they could translate that into Smash somehow, I think that would be really interesting.
Next one?
Yeah, I think I broke the chat. Well, the next one is actually Ubisoft. So, Ubisoft, Rayman, and we had Beyond Good and Evil. We
had Assassin's Creed. And actually, I'm going to say this. People are like, oh, man, we got what's his name? Altair costume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Altair.
But we didn't get Ezio, who's a more popular Assassin's Creed character. So, I mean, it's possible that we could still get Assassin's Creed, that we could get Ezio as playable.
After the Heihachi Kazoo stuff. Yeah.
I do think if we got a new Western company for Smash Bros. As DLC, it would be Ubisoft. And Rayman's possible. I think he was only a Spirited-based game. He's popular. I think his popularity kind of peaked at the right time, too. Yeah. Because of the Artsy Omni leak, everybody got really into Rayman right before the Smash ballot. And we know the Smash ballot was used to pick things for this game. So I bet you Rayman was all in that Smash ballot, like, stronger than he normally would have been. That being said, I still don't think it's going to be a Western third party. So while I think if I could just do a 50-50, I would on this one. I think Ubisoft is more likely than others, but I'm going to sell. So,
yeah, I think Ubisoft is possible, but it's not what I think that Challenger Pack 11 is going to be. I do think, however, Rayman getting a Mii costume in the last Mii wave is very, very possible. I could totally see that happening. Actually, I'm a little surprised it didn't happen already, but I don't think we're going to end on an Ubisoft rep. Kind of for the same reason you were saying, Spazzy, that I don't see a Western third party being the ending here. I feel like E3 is the better time for Western stuff, and I just don't see that being how this pass ends. But Rayman as a Mii costume, even maybe like our fan dubbed deluxe Mii costume of the final wave, could totally see that happening, and I'd be cool with that.
Yep. Yeah, I would say that Rayman specifically is probably my most likely pick for Western mascot character. even though I think Crash is potentially a bigger deal, I think that it just feels way more Nintendo, because as you said, Push, sometimes it's about business relations and stuff like that. And Rayman is Ubisoft are a company that that Nintendo works far more closely with than Activision or whoever it is who makes Crash. So I would say Rayman most likely of a group who are not likely. So I would still sell, but he's at the top of that group.
Yeah, I like that. Like, they already had. I guess I shouldn't look into costumes too much because of Heihachi now, but I still am less sold on Rayman's chances, and the fact that it hurts his chances quite a bit.
Yep.
Move on to the one of the last characters I had, and that's Dragalia Lost. It was requested by the chat. This is Nintendo's big mobile game. Do you think that a representative from this franchise would have a possibility as the last fighter?
It was just disappointing enough, so I'm gonna buy.
I will Google this series and then I will tell you.
It's actually a very successful series too. Is the other thing.
Yeah.
I'll say this. It would make sense too if Nintendo might want to eventually use this setting and characters and world on the Switch in a different way to introduce the character now. Screw it. Like I said, I'm buying. It's just a sort of like anime swords nothing character that nobody seems to be championing for too much. And he actually does have decent moveset potential if you play the game. I'm buying. Let's do this. Let's do the most disappointing outcome. I would probably prefer him over a Pokemon.
I'm gonna sell on it. It's definitely a disappointing. No one was looking at it exactly how Smash usually ends. Kind of character choice, but I don't know. I don't know if they. I think maybe the one way I could see it happening is what you just mentioned. If they were to push this onto the Switch in some other form using these characters, that world. But otherwise, barring that being a future that Nintendo has planned, I don't think Nintendo is going to push a mobile game into Smash as the final character. Maybe I'm just being hopeful. I don't know, because I wouldn't be very excited for this one. But I'm gonna sell on Dragalia Lost.
Yeah, I'm also going to sell on this. I'm looking at the screenshots now, know nothing else about the game, but it does feel like this covers a lot of the same ground that something like Pyre and Mithra would, in terms of the aesthetics and the fantasy setting.
Oh, it is an anime swordsman that is rooted in Western fantasy tropes. He looks like fantasy Shulk. He does. Exactly. He looks like if you made Shulk instead of having this kind of sci-fi, little steampunkish aesthetic, to have like a pure Western fantasy aesthetic in more of the style of something like Tales of, he would be Euden. From a design perspective. However, from a moveset perspective, it's not. He does have some interesting things. And once again, you hope. But let's look back at all of these other final characters for Smash. Let's just go back and think. If Pass 1 ended, it would have ended on Byleth. There was the double reveal of DLC last time of Bayonetta, who I think was supposed to be hype, but a lot of people did not feel that way. And then Corrin. I'm just saying, this feels to me like something that would happen.
I always point this out when we talk about Smash endings, specifically the two that you just brought up. You could also say Incineroar and Ken and Piranha Plant as the ending for base game. While we have had really unhype endings to Smash, we have yet to, from the Smash team's perspective, they started Smash Wii U 3DS. They worked all the way through that game. Then Smash Ultimate. Then Fighter Pass 1. Now Fighter Pass 2. From the Smash team's perspective, from Sakurai's perspective, they never have had, an ending. They've never had a real finale.
90% of the people who worked on the base game aren't working on the game anymore because the team has been reduced because of DLC.
True.
And I want to state again that Euden has a dragon transformation gimmick. It's not like how Corrin's is. So it would be, build up a meter, turn into a dragon, do some damage, go back. he would be an interesting character because he turns into a dragon. Like that's baked into what that character is. I don't know, but yeah, the thing is, just from a design standpoint, you look at him and you say, this looks so much like other things that we've already gotten.
Yeah.
And sort of things that people like tend to not like that we've already gotten.
Yeah.
Not that Nintendo strays away from that, but yeah, he definitely checks a lot of boxes to piss off the fans, I feel like.
I would love Space Invader. Did Wait just mention in the chat? I would love Space Invader.
Yeah.
Space Invaders is such an influential and important game too. Like it was the start of arcade games, especially Japanese arcade games.
Yeah.
After
Invader Boom.
Yeah. It's like honestly, that would be an amazing character. In the same way Pac-Man is.
You know what's really interesting about Space Invaders? I have like a After Mr. Sakurai Presents speculation video that I'm working on. And one of the things I go over is that if you actually go down the list of all the pattern theory stuff that we have going, like what is left on the voice select screen, there's no voice after Kazuya, so the character has to be mute, has to be from a new series. All these Spirit Tournament events have eras from the 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010 we just got. What is left? If we did all that stuff, like deconfirms whatever, the only thing left is a 70s silent protagonist character, which would be Space Invaders.
Space Invaders, somebody asked who owns it. I'm pretty sure it's Taito, who's owned by Square.
Yeah, Taito owns it.
Yeah.
Taito's
owned by Square. Yeah, I have. Like I said, I'm working on that video, so I literally have it in front of me right now. Space Invaders, is Taito.
I mean, like, there's a lot. There's, like I said, there's a lot of genres if you really get into it to look up. Especially when it comes to PC gaming, so you have things like I know Pikmin's technically RTS, but you have something that's more a resource management style RTS game. Point and click adventures games, like it'd be cool to get like something from like
Monkey Island,
like Monkey Island or King's Quest or something like that. There's tons of genres you could pull from that Smash doesn't have. We don't even have a proper first person shooter yet.
Yeah. That's why I think Phoenix Wright would be pretty cool too for the visual novel kind of point and click.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think
game would be neat.
I think Phoenix would be neat. I'd be for Phoenix. Did you not have any more push? Because I have 3 I'd like to bring up.
I have. Well, the last one I want to bring up is Sega Rep. So either Eggman or Shin Megami Tensei. What are your chances for another Sega character joining the battle?
I'm buying on Sega, but it's funny because I kind of feel like Sega and Atlas are different things, and we've had an Atlas rep, but we haven't had a Sega rep during DLC. That being said, when it comes to the protagonist of Shin Megami Tensei 5, that was a game that was announced when the Switch was announced. It's a game that's... the timing for it makes sense. Shin Megami Tensei also, unlike Persona, is actually a series that's very, very closely tied to Nintendo, and it would make more sense. I think there's also kind of like some poetry, right? Like it's poetry. It rhymes. Paul George Lucas. You start with the protagonist of Persona 5, and then you end with the protagonist of Shin Megami Tensei 5. Yeah. I think it's a possibility, and I'm not as against it as I think a lot of people are. I think, it's a JRPG character. Yeah, it has a sword, but I feel like the aesthetic is pretty unique. Crosses over a little bit with Persona, but it's still very much its own thing. I would prefer out of the two to get something from Sega proper, though. I don't know if it would be Eggman. We already have 2 villains this this DLC cycle, so maybe we could get a third. Maybe Monkey Ball, that was brought up before, But overall, I buy on Sega as the company. I think Sega has a pretty good shot.
Yeah, I'd buy on Sega as well. They're just kind of we kind of talked about it before with Capcom, Sega, or some other like Koei Tecmo type thing. So yeah, I think Sega definitely has a possibility. As far as Shin Megami Tensei 5 or just Shin Megami Tensei in general, I think that's definitely up there for possible endings here. Especially the 5 protagonist. Like you said,
we didn't get any. We didn't get any Persona. With the Persona stuff, we didn't get any like. We didn't get like Jack Frost. We didn't get the Shin Megami Tensei stuff. Yeah. Nothing,
and yet it has such a strong history with Nintendo. Much stronger, obviously, than Persona, which really I don't think it had anything on Nintendo until after Joker happened. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. I like the poetry thing where it starts here, it ends, on Shin Megami Tensei. So I could see it happening. The timing is right. The game is being pushed it reminds me a lot of how Dragon Quest XI was pushed. Just the marketing and everything for Shin Megami Tensei 5 from Nintendo. And obviously that got a character in Smash. So yeah, I could definitely see us ending on that. And it sort of works with that thing that you always talk about, push, where the character they end on would have it would be a more recent character that would kind of make the Smash Ultimate roster last a little longer when you look back on it. So having the 5 protagonists as Challenger Pack 11 could make a ton of sense. I'd buy on it. I'm not 100% like that's the character I think is going to be next, but if it happened, it would not surprise me. That's definitely someone I think could happen.
Yeah, I think of all the companies to cast a wide net and say, are you confident something from this company will happen? Sega by far feels like the most likely to me by a country mile. And so, yeah, stuff like Monkey Ball, stuff like new Sonic characters like Eggman, I would definitely buy on Sega. I think Eggman has potential because of not only, he's a big character from a series that is already in the game, but all this sort of stuff's a big Sega character. But additionally, he fits the whole villain thing that was talked about a while ago, and then was kind of forgotten when the DLC started because it wasn't really relevant. But then we got Sephiroth again in this pass, which complements Cloud. So it does feel again like...
And we also got Kazuya. He's a villain. He's almost definitely going to be the villain of Tekken 8 with Jin being the protagonist.
Yeah. So I feel like it would make complete sense to cap it off with another villainous character for Sonic, and then you've almost got the protagonist and the villain character for most of the big series in the game. And I think that would be a nice ending. And again, even if you don't think it's going to be Eggman, there's so much other potential Sega stuff that would make sense. That Sega, definite buy. Absolutely.
Okay. I do have 3 things I'd like to bring up. Do we have time?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. First one is a Koei Tecmo rep. And I want to say Koei Tecmo because I know we all get stuck on Ninja Gaiden a lot. Ryu Hayabusa is my favorite, my most wanted. So I bring him up a lot. But just in general, Koei Tecmo has, Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors. They have the Dead or Alive games that would probably be repped by someone like Kasumi and not Hayabusa. They have the Atelier games. They have Nioh. They have Fatal Frame. So they do have quite a few, and of course Ninja Gaiden. They do have quite a few franchises. So I want to know how people think about them as a whole.
I think it would be good. It would be good for Nintendo to kind of incorporate one last big company into the mix just before the end. And I think
they are the biggest Japanese company left by far.
Exactly, and I think that would be, as you say, it would make the most sense for it to be that company. I can't imagine them, because if this was set by Nintendo, I can't imagine Nintendo picking anyone else other than the largest one. Because I feel like Ninja Gaiden to me is by far the one with the most name recognition.
Warrior games are bigger though. The Warrior games.
Oh, sorry, I guess. But are those?
But yeah, they don't. It's different. I feel like when you talk more about a character that is, and especially with Team Ninja in particular, it's called Team Ninja because of Ninja Gaiden. I think that the most recognizable single character probably is Ryu Hayabusa. But I'm biased, so.
I would agree.
I agree as well. I buy on Koei Tecmo. I think they, if another company, if it is something from another company that isn't already repped in Smash, and they may have just done everything, not in-house might not be the right term here, but with companies that are already part of Smash, and maybe that's just how it ends. But if they did reach out to some new company, I feel like Koei Tecmo is the one that makes the most sense.
Koei Tecmo already kind of is part of Smash because they have this trophy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It makes the most sense because it is already part of Smash. Same with, Ubisoft is also already part of Smash, but they're Western. Koei Tecmo, it's a Japanese company, the last big one that doesn't have a playable character, I guess, is the way we should be talking about it. It makes a lot of sense. I do think it would be Ryu Hayabusa. I think that's the character to go with. Ninja Gaiden has NES history, which just, I think, is so important to Smash and the Smash roster and everything, to bring all those old Nintendo characters. And you think of old Nintendo, that's kind of the big deal with when Mega Man got on. It was yes, okay, we're actually we're going with how I thought of Nintendo when I was a kid. Just what games were on the NES was how I thought of Nintendo. So yeah, I think it's a definite possibility. I'd buy on it. I don't know if that's how it's going to end, but I could see it ending on that. If it's a new character, a new company, I think it would be Hayabusa.
I'm actually gonna sell on Koei Tecmo. I feel like they people are, I don't know, I feel like we're overestimating their chances a little bit. I feel like with Ninja Gaiden, like Nintendo didn't really push that for the collection on the Switch, and I feel like if they were gonna get in Smash in some way, Nintendo would have helped out with promoting that game a little bit more.
I mean, it was revealed on a Nintendo stream.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
It was for all platforms, but it was revealed on the Nintendo stream.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
The thing is, I don't. Well, first of all, the comments from I don't remember who the producer was, but from Team Ninja makes it seem like it's not very likely, and I do take that into account.
Yeah.
And there's also like Ryza from Atelier. There's also maybe somebody from Fatal Frame. And there's several Warriors characters, and even within like the Ninja Gaiden universe, I think Kasumi from DOA needs to not be discounted. I think that would make sense. Somebody said I think Ryu's going to get in as a Mii costume. If he's not the last fighter, which I'm not sold on, I think I'm gonna. I don't know. I'll get back to that. If he's not in though, like if Fighter Pass 11 is revealed and it's not Ryu Hayabusa, which I think it probably won't be, I will hope that he's a Mii costume. I think it's really weird when people just get really mad about a character being a Mii costume, especially after you already know everything. You know?
Yeah.
At the very end of everything, like after Challenger Pack 11, the Mii costume wave is going to literally just be, I hope there's something, for the thing that I want. Like, I hope there's just something. Yeah,
somebody said people overestimate Hayabusa, especially after the leaks. I have an article on Source Gaming from 2015 talking about, and the article is just about why Ninja Gaiden deserves a character in Smash. So it is a franchise that checks off a lot of the boxes. I think a bigger problem with Ninja Gaiden in particular is that since Itagaki, is that who's the guy that's for Ninja Gaiden? Who's the director?
That sounds right.
I don't remember the dude's name. I'm blanking right now. Itagaki. Since he left the series, which was between Ninja Gaiden 2 and 3, it's been kind of a mess. The team that does that are making the Neo games now, which are still kind of tied into the Ninja Gaiden games. Like the Hayabusas are theirs. There's like special fights and stuff. But if it was a more active franchise now, or if this was like Smash, if they did this if this was happening back in like when they were doing Smash 4 DLC, if they had all of these characters and they were still doing a bunch of characters, I would be more confident in it. I'm really not super confident in Hayabusa, but I think Tecmo Koei as a whole, I think part of it is actually that they might have too good of a relationship with Nintendo. I know that sounds weird, but I think they have, Nintendo doesn't feel like they need to strengthen their bonds with this company because they're constantly making Warriors games for them.
There's nothing Nintendo necessarily gains from Hayabusa in Smash. Even though Hayabusa, from just the perspective of what are the type of characters that become playable in Smash? It's like Hayabusa reps an entire new company, a Japanese company that isn't, doesn't have a playable character yet. He is from the NES era. He is still relevant today. He is also from the Dead or Alive games. There's so much stuff that he would pull in, good music, all that stuff. You would want any character, but just will it happen? I don't know. But
I think we're at least going to get some sort of spirit events or Mii costumes or something dealing with some Koei Tecmo franchises. It might be Warriors, it might be something, but I feel like there's going to be a little bit more.
We got
we've gotten some.
But that doesn't count, dude. Age of Calamity, it's a Nintendo franchise that they worked on. That doesn't.
Yeah, but they made it.
Yeah, but that doesn't count because it's still a Nintendo franchise promoting a Nintendo game that's published by Nintendo. I'm talking about their own games.
Three Houses with Byleth is the same way too.
It's the same thing. Exactly.
That doesn't count as a playable Koei Tecmo character.
Is Crystal and Namco? Is Crystal? No, Crystal is actually a rare game. So is Crystal another Microsoft rep? No, screw that. People work on games, but it's who owns the game at the end of the day. I don't know. My heart wants to buy, but my mind says to sell. but I'm going to follow my heart because my heart will go on, as Celine Dion told me. And I'm going to buy into Tecmo Koei. Okay, so the other two were WarioWare. I think we just got a new WarioWare. The timing kind of adds up. It's a first party that's underrepresented but doesn't get talked about a lot. And there's still Jimmy T, there's still Mona, there's still characters that aren't Ashley
9-volt.
that are big and important. 9-volt. 9-volt that are possible. So do you guys buy or sell on WarioWare?
My heart says
I
buy.
would. I would. Sorry, Push. I would sell purely because that feels like that's disappointing in a way because it's not a big glitzy third party, but still super hype. And I don't think Nintendo is in the business of doing that. I think they're in the business of disappointing 100%. So I don't think that they would. I don't think that they would go, oh, sorry, it's not Master Chief, but it is a cool thing, and I can't see it happening. I just imagine it being like it's the mobile game you were talking about. I'm sorry, Dragalia Lost just feels like that's like the right kind of disappointment, right? Exactly, that feels like exactly the correct disappointment. Whereas WarioWare feels too much like I'd be happy regardless, and that doesn't feel right. That doesn't sit right with me. So I would sell on WarioWare personally.
That is the exact, like, you phrased it probably better than I can phrase it. That is exactly how I feel. WarioWare would be cool to get, but like when Nintendo chooses Nintendo first party characters, they tend to choose the stuff that disappoints in a very specific way. And WarioWare only disappoints in that it's like not Master Chief as an ending or not Crash as an ending. But it's a cool Nintendo first party. It's the type of Nintendo first party thing that fans would be like, oh, that's awesome. We wanted stuff like that. And Nintendo never goes that direction. They always so I don't see it happening either. If we had like Nintendo first party choices for DLC and it was like, oh, we've gotten Skull Kid, we've gotten Waluigi, like then it's like, yeah, maybe, but Nintendo just doesn't choose their first party characters that way. So I don't see WarioWare happening, but it would be cool, but I don't see it. Sell.
I'm actually also going to sell, even though I brought it up, because I don't think it introduces a whole new world. It's just, although we already have WarioWare stages and music and things, and they could do a spare board, but Anyways, Push.
Well, I was going to ask, is your last one Rhythm Heaven?
It's not. I actually wanted to talk about Master Chief because we keep talking about Master Chief without saying Master Chief.
I guess we didn't talk about Master Chief yet.
Yeah, and if you want to, Rhythm Heaven, Donkey Kong, and Kirby are the last three first parties that people that have buzz that we didn't talk about. So we can do that too. So yeah, I'm selling on Master Chief. By the way, I think it would be hype, but I think that's more of an E3 reveal. Microsoft already has things. It would be an amazing way to finish the pass. It would be one of those last, like Sora, like a wow moment. One of the only wow moments left, really. But it just doesn't feel like something that would happen at this point to me. So
I agree. I think Master Chief, the most likely of the first-person shooters. I know Doom has a long legacy, but Master Chief has guns like the Needler that are so cartoony that I think you could get away with it in Smash. I think like the arsenal of like energy swords and shields and stuff like that are something that would translate better than Doom Guy having a pump-action shotgun. So I would say the most likely of the first-person shooters, but still a sell, probably.
Yeah, I'm also going to sell on Master Chief at this point, although I think if there is like we talked about Sora, we talked about Crash, if there's one final like that kind of WoW character, I feel like Master Chief is the most likely of the WoW characters. I don't mean World of Warcraft. I mean, like, that WoW factor.
Warcraft would also be pretty sweet.
That would be awesome. Yeah, that'd actually be a great pick. That would be a great pick.
Surprise it's one of those. Well, honestly, Warcraft would be one of those like no one talks about it for Smash, but is it big enough for Smash? Yeah, like
imagine
Warcraft or StarCraft.
Imagine like the Minecraft Steve reveal where Mario's on stage and then gets punched off and he's in like a dark space and you just hear. It's like, oh no, it's the Murloc, and it comes out and it's World of Warcraft. That would be incredible.
it's just a Murloc. We don't have a proper MMO rep as of yet. So, also Phantasy Star online.
Phantasy Star, Phantasy Star. We talked about Sega. Phantasy Star would be a big one.
Yeah, we talked about Sega and we didn't talk about Arley or. But we all bought on Sega for the most part anyway. So. Okay, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. World of Warcraft. Did you want to do Rhythm Heaven? I'm gonna go ahead and buy on Rhythm Heaven, by the way, because why not? You got to buy on something, man. Might as well buy on Rhythm Heaven. It looks like they're trying to that Sakurai's trying to finish off a lot of ideas that happened previously.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so why not finish it off now? The only thing is that Nintendo is picking this, and we don't know what the future of that franchise is at the moment. But screw it, I'm buying. Gotta buy something.
I feel like Rhythm Heaven could work really well on the Switch, though. So even though we haven't seen anything from it, I could see a game coming out in the future. And the fact that it's one of those things that almost happened before that we know about, definitely makes it feel like it could happen. And we talked about disappointing endings and that Nintendo feeling disappointing ending. I feel like Rhythm Heaven fits that. I mean, I like Rhythm Heaven, so I would
personally be hyped, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be hyped too. But I feel like the majority of people would be like, not super hyped on it. And
that's a genre that we don't have, too, rhythm.
Yes,
talking about genres.
rhythm. Yep, that'd be a new genre. So yeah, I think I'd buy on Rhythm Heaven. It's definitely a possibility. And then this style conspiracy theory stuff never pans out, but I'll mention it anyway. Sakurai in the Kazuya presentation, he mentioned, instead of saying Nintendo, he said a company that has I don't know, is it kanji?
It's a character the Heaven.
For Heaven, yeah, and he mentioned that in the Mr. Sakurai Presents Kazuya, and my mind immediately went like, why is he doing that? Why is he? And I was like, oh wait, Rhythm
is it
Heaven.
even called? Is it even called Rhythm Heaven on?
It's something Paradise.
In PAL territories, it's called Paradise. Yeah.
In Japanese, it's called Rhythm Tenkoku, which is literally Rhythm Heaven. But that joke is just from the character Ten. He even said in Japanese, I'm not sure if they translate it in English, that it's like, I wonder.
He did that.
I wonder if this joke will
translate.
land. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it is 10 in both Rhythm Heaven's title and Nintendo's.
I think he was just doing it as like a joke.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I prefaced before I even brought this up. It's out there conspiracy stuff that never pans out. And I think even if we got a Rhythm Heaven rep, what Sakurai said was likely not a hint at that happening, and it would simply be coincidental. But
yeah,
I think
if the conspiracy guy.
If we're going to get a rhythm game, I've mentioned it a few times, but I think Don-chan from Taiko no Tatsujin, the little cute drum with a cartoon face who's in all the Japanese arcades, that's Sega, right? And,
no, that's Bandai Namco.
Namco, so it'd be Namco twice, which would be the tough in there.
Yeah, no, I don't think they'd do Namco twice. But that character feels more like something they would do for a rhythm character, because it's something that's, mainstream, it's in arcades, and it's a third party, and so they get to...
What if Konami gets their first DLC as the DDR girl? What's her name? There's a character, like one of the characters from DDR. It happened. Konami hasn't gotten DLC yet.
Base Channel 5 rep.
Dude, Lala would be...
That's Sega.
That'd be sick, yeah. That would be sick. I'd be... There's so many Sega characters that would make me happy, to be honest with you. I think that's it, unless we want to get into like more random. Like I said, there's Donkey Kong and Kirby and other first parties. I guess we could have a miscellaneous Nintendo first parties, or we could go over things.
I think we are about ready to
I think we're good.
Wrap things up. Do you guys have any final comments?
Yes, Konami owns DDR. Konami owns a lot more IP than you think. Konami, I think, is up there right below like Sega and Capcom. And I'd say they actually probably even have more varied IP than something like Square Enix. Just Square Enix's bigger IP. They own a lot. Sorry, Bush, I was just answering.
Yeah, Square owns a lot just from acquisitions, but Konami actually produced a lot.
Yeah, like back in the 80s and 90s, they were like, it was like, for the Super Nintendo, it was Capcom and Konami. And then
Square. Square. If I turn on a game and the Konami like logo happened for the Super NES, I always knew like this is gonna be a good game.
Yeah. They're I know they've fallen a lot in the last 10 years, but they used to be a big deal.
Back in our day, they were cool.
Yeah. I will say this too, real quick. With Donkey Kong, I feel like if that rumored Donkey Kong game was announced, we'd all be talking a lot more about Donkey Kong. But since it wasn't announced, we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, and I don't know if we'd end on a Donkey Kong rap again.
Yeah, I don't
That
think so
feels
either.
like that's that kind of like it's a disappointing Nintendo first party, but it's the kind that the fans might actually like. And
Yeah,
so, like, I
it
just
doesn't
don't see
feel
that.
like one. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
settle on that anyways. Anyway, sorry, Push. I'm passing this back to you. This is your.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, is there anything? I was just asking if there's anything else you want to talk about. So you are fulfilling that request. But Backseat Gamer, do you have anything else that you want to end on?
Is that? Are you asking me to mention Birdo? I mean Birdo, but no, other than that, no.
Birdo would be perfect.
I would howl if it was Birdo, because that is the correct Nintendo disappointment. Because very few people are asking for Birdo, but it's also exactly the sort of character that, even though no one's asking for it, as soon as it's announced, there would be adamant defenders of Birdo. Would immediately pop up.
I'd be
so I
one
think
of
that's
them.
exactly No, so would I. But also, when I first came up with Birdo in my very first video, it was by accident because I was just searching characters and saw a picture of Birdo. I was like, oh, would Birdo? Oh, Birdo would. Oh, Birdo would fit. and
what if all of Birdo's content was like super focused on Super Mario Brothers 2 and Subcon?
Exactly. Yeah. Turnips and the sun and all that sort of stuff. Like that would be.
Does Wart have the spirit of the game? Probably. And it's probably K. Rool.
Yeah,
Right?
Wart's a spirit, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool. But anyway, that's all I've got to say.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys for the last basically 3 hours, talking about what characters were hot and what characters are gonna go in and smash. So thank you guys so much for joining me in this special journey, and thank you everyone for listening all this way through, or just part of it. Whatever. If you enjoy these types of discussions, make sure you subscribe so you can be notified for when we have them again. And I try to do them weekly. I try to do different topics and stuff like that. Not sure what next week we'll do, so stay tuned for that. Backseat Gamer, do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Sure. If you just search Backseat in YouTube, I will come up. I will not be the first, but within the first 3 or 4 results, my channel will just be right there. So you can find me that way by searching me on YouTube. And on Twitter, I am at Backseat Game Dev. I'm trying to get it shortened just to Backseat, but that's not going to happen. So, but Backseat Game Dev is where to find me.
All right, and Papaginos?
Yeah, if you want to find me, the YouTube channel, Papaginos, same as my name. That's the best place to find me. It has links to all my other stuff, so like Twitter and my Discord and stuff like that. So yeah, I just suggest go checking out Papaginos on YouTube, and if you want to see me anywhere else, all the links are there.
Okay, and Spazzy.
Yeah, you can find me at 8bit_Spazzy at Twitter. I'm usually on all sorts of Source Gaming related stuff, so you can follow them at All Source Gaming as well. That's about it, man. If you look hard enough and believe in your heart, then I'm there. I'll be there. I'll be there to help you.
All right, and I'm Push Dustin. You already found me because you're here. So thank you guys again. Hope to see you guys next time. See ya.
Bye-bye.